Sorry, how could you? If you're not laughing with me right now, then you need to check your sense of humor. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Shooting the Shit with the Cinema Squad. Episode 8. Can you believe we're on our 8th episode now? That's fantastic. We were just talking about not too long ago how sometimes there's people who do stuff like this. They don't even make it past like 1 or 2 episodes. And obviously that's not anything against anyone because it's tough to do. But I think that really speaks volumes to what we've got going here. It seems like we've already got a lot of people showing up with us. So thank you so much. And of course, it's not just me that you're here to see, though I hope I'm part of the reason. But I have a fantastic crew here with me. And I would really love to go ahead and get started off by introducing our special guest, as we like to have one as many weeks as we can. And this week we got the absolutely fantastic Rick Alba.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Man, it is great to have you on board. I hope you are ready to shoot some shit.
Absolutely.
Just some good conversation throughout the evening, right? What a better way to spend a Friday than that. And to join along with us, we have I'm going based off looks, and this is great. Hey, what do we got here? Mr. Man of Movies?
Hey, I just heard there was a murder on the live stream because you just killed it, Jace.
I thought that was reserved for your and Joe's comments on each other's videos back and forth.
Not only.
That's okay. Well, then I am happy to have this included then.
Rick, so happy to have you on, man. And I want to say happy 1-year anniversary to you being a content creator. That's awesome, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Big feat. That's a big feat to have. You got any like special celebration for it?
No, I posted like a YouTube short because I've just been super busy lately. I was like, I wanted to do a video, but then I was like, nah, I'll just do the short and see what happens with that. So that's pretty much it.
I thought for a second, I thought you said, Rick, big feet. You got big feet.
Well, you can see that down there.
You know what that means.
No, it's not necessarily that I could see it. It's just, how would you last 1 year on YouTube if it wasn't for that? That's the correlation there. Let's see. Along with us, as far as fellow Cinema Squad members, we got Mr. Upside Dan himself.
Dan.
Hey everybody.
Hey,
the local
Dan.
live stream, little reunion right now. Yeah.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So for anyone that's not familiar, check out the Loki live stream. Even if it's, who cares if the show came out already? Go watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Congrats on 1 year, Rick. That's really good.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, and we are thankfully not done as far as adding to the party here. We've got the one and only. We're all the one and only. I just like throwing that in there, right? It sounds so epic.
The myth.
Mr. Lost in the Reel.
What's up, guys?
I want to get lost in the reel.
I'm already lost in your reel. So, Rick, I'm so happy to have you on this live stream. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Thanks, Shawn. I appreciate it.
Well, we've got a good amount of people that are here with us already that are in the live chat, so that is fantastic. As I threw out at the very beginning, thank you all for being here. I figured before I happen to jump over to those comments that we see flying in, I did at least want to throw out very quickly, not necessarily like it's the most creative, but it was something that came to me as a last second type of thought. I was going back and forth on what the question of the week would be, and I feel like there's such a level of pressure now that there's got to be something decent. So there are a lot of reboots that have been happening, honestly, for years and years now. But I figured, since not all of them are exactly the most successful that they could be, I figured maybe our question of the week could just simply be, what is a reboot that you would like to see, whether it's been done already or not, but just done well, like properly? And we could always, that's always up for discussion if it ends up will being that case. But nonetheless, right, something that, hey, maybe I haven't seen them ever try to make this into a movie or show before, which I guess at that point maybe not be a reboot, but you get my point. Go ahead, think it through. I'm not going to fire it off at anybody quite yet, because I know that might be one that takes a little bit of pondering. So as we sit on that a little bit there, I'll go ahead and start kind of addressing our guests, of course.
Ooh.
And wouldn't it be wrong if it was anybody else that was the first to comment here?
Eric.
Eric. What's going on, Eric? Saying, I'm so ready. And guess what? So are we. At least I can say I definitely am. As a matter of fact, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that we're sponsored by Truly. And one of these days we really will be. And
Yes.
at the risk of a couple of drops going too close to my keyboard there, cheers, everybody. TGI.
What is Rick? What are you drinking?
Yo, water.
Same, Rick,
Stay
same.
hydrated, That's it. There you go.
Same.
At least, John, for you, I could say it definitely makes, well, in both your cases, right? Rick, we were saying it's still early. And then, John, in your case, I know you have to technically go somewhere and be responsible to a certain degree after this, right? You got to be able to compose yourself. Let's see, what else do we got from Eric? He was saying, I was planning to not talk about James Bond as much this week, but then No Time to Die tickets went on sale today, and I got 3 sets of them for opening weekend, and I'm hyped out of my mind. 3 sets.
Eric.
So you're planning to see it 3 times in less than 48 hours?
I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Unless he's got it for opening weekend, so maybe it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or bro, I'm excited enough to see it opening weekend. That's where my excitement is for No Time to Die at the moment.
Eric is the fanboy. He's gonna be there all 3 days.
What about Rick? What are your thoughts on James Bond in general? I guess especially with it getting to this last Daniel Craig one.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the originals, but I do love the Daniel Craig movies. So I am really hyped for this one. It's so built up now, right? With all the delays that I'm a little nervous that it's just going to be a little bit disappointing. I heard it was insanely long, which some people might really be excited about. For me, it's kind of I don't know. I don't love super long movies, so I'm cautiously optimistic. That's where I think I am.
Same.
It's a very fair way to put it. Cautiously optimistic.
I think they said the runtime is a little over 2.5 hours.
It's 2 hours and 40 something minutes.
Yeah, that's I love James Bond, but that's a lot of Bond.
Yeah,
Well,
he has no time to die, Shawn. You got to give him all the time in the world.
You gotta let
He
him
has a
live.
lot of time to die.
He's got a lot of time to die.
I think the only reason I might kind of give it a little bit of a pass is because of the fact that it's Daniel Craig's final outing. And I'm not saying that just excuses it to be a long movie, but I guess it's all right, maybe, I don't know, give it time to flesh out, do him some justice, because, yeah, I'm a little worried about that one, too. But I'm glad that you're so excited about it, Eric. He even throws in real quick, I think this is officially the most hyped I've been for a film since The Dark Knight Rises, which was literally the most hyped I've ever been for a movie in my life, I would say. Wait, more than The Dark Knight?
Or Endgame?
I know.
Or
I'm shocked.
Endgame?
Eric likes DC though. Eric is a DC guy. I mean, he loves Marvel, but I think he likes DC even more.
Yeah, he's a big DC.
That's true. As far as I can never pick between the two. I just can't. It's tough. But I mean, I see what you mean. I think he's definitely got a strong liking for it. And but yeah, shoot. I guess that's a bit. Eric, if you can answer, are you more excited about that than the ones we said, than The Dark Knight and Endgame?
my guess is why he was so hyped for The Dark Knight Rises is because The Dark Knight was so good. So that got him more hyped for the next one.
Yeah.
True, but I feel like my hype would have been possibly just as much for The Dark Knight Rises if Heath Ledger was around to be in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't bring up Heath Ledger.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I felt everybody get
R.I.P.
sad at that moment. Well, to try and cheer up the mood here, we've got Florentina. Hi,
Yes.
Florentina. Still recovering from last week, I'm sure. Hi, everyone. I'm just finishing up watching the new season of Sex Education and need to know how it ends. I'll jump on when it's done. Fair enough.
I've yet to see Sex Education. I haven't seen it yet.
It's so good.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons are really good. This 3rd season is it's different, but at the same time, it's definitely worth watching. I think it's a really honest show that's very frank. So anyone that doesn't like sex stuff, don't play around with it.
Dan. Rick, have you seen it?
I have not, honestly. I'm so bad with keeping up with shows. It's on Netflix, right?
Mhm.
I tend not to get invested in Netflix shows because they do like a season and then they're like, "Now we're done with this. We're gonna do a new season of something else. Yeah, we're gonna do a new show." So I'm like, I with those types of shows, I wait until they're done and then I'm like, "All right, I'll watch the whole thing," and I'll go through it. That's always my play with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, kind of the same with me.
I'm shocked that this show has lasted 3 seasons too, because it's still pretty obscure.
Me too.
Not a lot of people know about it, but it's definitely worth a watch.
Well, then I'll have to check it out as too. Dan, add it to our list.
I'm already watching it. So.
And just for a reference point, because I know we pointed this out before, but that doesn't mean that everybody's aware, right? Sometimes you got a reminder. Dan is the keeper of the list. That's And the list is everything that we need to watch. So just always put your request to the upside down.
So
It's only like 3 of the entries are ours and the rest are Dan's.
Yeah. John has Malignant again, so he has to watch Malignant again.
Yes,
I'm
you have to
gonna
watch
watch
Malignant again.
I don't want to.
Yes. Yes.
That's a no
This-
for me.
No,
I
it's
was
a-
excited to get to as soon as I saw that this comment came in, just because I saw the name. I didn't even see the question yet. So, D, what is up, bud? Thank you for being here with us and always coming through with some phenomenal questions, to say the least, which I feel like we acknowledge so much. We love all the questions, but D, I just don't know where you come up with these, man. I feel like it's like a side hobby of his. Be like, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to come up with some really, really awesome questions here. So, jumping in early. The Cinema Squad members are given an opportunity to train as secret agents. During their training montage, what Bond theme song will be playing in the background?
Oh, I know this.
Oh, go for it, Shawn. What do you got?
And this is going to be very, Die Another Day by Madonna.
I almost said that.
I love that song. I listen to it all the time when I used to work out. And it's great. So yeah, that would definitely be mine.
Well, as the resident James Bond of the Cinema Squad, I wouldn't necessarily pick a song. I would just pick the theme song of James Bond because I use it all the time whenever I'm John Bond.
You're John Bond?
Wait, what?
I gotta go see Doctor Strange. Now everybody knows.
So I don't know many, but mine would probably just be Adele, Skyfall, I think, right? Because that's the one I know really. And I'm not a fan of Billie Eilish, but her No Time to Die was fine.
I don't like it.
The movie still has not come out yet. But we heard that song how many?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I have the same
I'm just not a
answer
fan
as
of
you,
Billie
man.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
I would just say real quick, I have the same one as you, and it's just because of the same reasoning too. I don't know enough of them off the top of my head, so I would default to the Adele one because it's the one I am familiar with. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd probably go with that. I think that's a good track, though. It is a good track. You know, you could go with the McCartney one, but I think I go Adele on this one.
Who did Spectre? Was it Sam Smith?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
the best.
so.
It's the best James Bond song they've ever done, in my opinion.
Ooh.
I love Writings on the Wall. Writings on the Wall is one of my favorite, if not my. Yeah, and it won the Oscar. It won the Oscar for Best Original Song.
Didn't Adele win too?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know about Sam Smith.
I like.
Oh, I love that song.
You don't know about Sam Smith?
But I do know about Madonna. So.
All right, fair. This is another good continuation as far as questions. I'm really excited to hear because I can only speak so much to this personally. So who thought up the idea for the Cinema Squad and how were the members selected? So one thing I can answer right away is the gentleman, actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and I think this would even be better. How do I do this? Well, bam! This is the man responsible. Shawn, how would you say this all came to be?
Well, I just wanted to bring together a group of people who were like-minded, but also had different opinions about different things. And I talked to John and the Man of Movies, and we decided to do it. And also Dan, of course, has been my good friend through my whole YouTube journey, or pretty much all of it. And then Joe, of course, GeekyHiJynx. So we kind of just came together. We started a little group, and then we decided to open it up and make it something more.
I felt it was very befitting to give you the screen during that part.
Thank you.
Look at John.
There we go. And I'm just happy to say, always have been. I've mentioned it probably an absurd amount to these guys time and time again. And now, thankfully, I'm just happy to say that it just feels like we're just all good buddies. I used to feel like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm surrounded by so many celebrities. And I still feel that way. I still almost get like starstruck every now and again. But yeah, I was happy to say that I was accepted in. And I thought it was cool because I didn't realize that Anthony was a part of it when I got inducted in there. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise that there was these 4 amazing content creators, as well as Anthony, who I was aware of before this all as well. And then just to have everybody together in the same group, it has been a phenomenal experience, and we are very happy that everybody seems to be liking the chemistry between us all so far, because we seem to feel strong chemistry.
I was literally driving from San Francisco back home when that whole thing happened, when we brought you in. I was like, we have to do it now before he gets stolen from someone else steals him.
But it's so true what you say about it's like celebrities. Like I feel the same way when I met all of you, and it's crazy because it wasn't just all of you. Rick, aside from the Cinema Squad, I think you were the first person that I talked to that was like, I've seen all your videos and everything. So while the Cinema Squad, we all came together, we became buddies, we talked, blah, blah, blah. Like Rick was the first one, and it was on the Loki live stream where I'm like, all right, do you want to be our guest? And it's like, hey, yo, this is Rick. Yo, this is Rick.
It is a crazy experience. And it's really cool just to be able to get a chance to know other people that way. And like Shawn was saying, find like-minded people. I think that's one of the biggest things that kind of helps keep you motivated. And I don't know, feel like it's not just you that's in this. It's you doing your own channel and stuff. But it's not just you alone that's really passionate about this type of stuff. That's always nice to find.
I think what the most important thing though is we all love movies. We all love TV. We love entertainment. But at the same time, we also have different opinions, but we can also listen to each other and grow from that. And I think that's what is the most important thing.
Yeah. Like Rick not liking the No Way Home trailer. My God.
What can I say?
Hey.
I don't know.
And how Malignant's the best horror movie of the year.
Yes.
That wasn't me.
That was a mic drop.
Or Night House. John, I'll add Night House in there too.
I think John will like Night House.
But definitely not old.
They killed me. The damn dog died.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't get that reference, which probably most of, well, I don't want to assume anything. Go check out the Upside Dan's What If reviews.
Yes.
And
Jace
then you
does a great job voicing the Watcher and Ghostface.
thanks, bud.
Ghost Jace. Ghost Jace.
I was
Hey!
like, I had to rewatch the Ghostface scene. I'm like, holy crap! Like Jace did that. Like that was awesome. So well done.
I've got to say, Shawn, I feel like I want to go bowling with you.
I love. Get the fuck out of here! It's a look, motherfucker.
Yes.
I love just the, but it didn't hit at first. It was just like, I'd love to go bowling with you. Wait a second.
I love bowling. Bowling is one of my favorite activities. But
I love you, Shawn.
we're done, John.
Let's see, we got someone else that's in here with us. The distract. What's up, everybody?
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
What is going on? Thank you so much for being here and joining along, man. Hope your Friday is going well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Got a buddy of mine, John C. John, I had a feeling that as soon as I clicked on this, that I knew it was going to be something random before I even read it. Hurry up! I don't have any pants on. I need to go get some.
All of us.
You go ahead and you get some. You get some, John. I hope that you get some quickly.
That reminds me of Lego Movie where he's like, honey, where are my pants?
Yes. Let's see, we got some excitement for our guest.
Woo!
All right, so
All right.
Eric, very happy to see, and he also threw in real quick as just far as, hey, happy 1 year, bud.
Thanks, Eric.
Rick, how would you say?
An achievement.
What would you say if you had to just like quickly throw in? I know this may be hard to identify, but what do you think like the biggest improvement is in like the way you make content compared to when you started to now?
Really just the editing process. Just like kind of just getting a system in place to be like, I'm going to film this, I'm going to edit it, making templates and things like that. Because when I first started, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It would take so long. And then you'd post something and you'd get like a couple of views and you'd be like, damn, I just spent hours. That sucked. And so now being able to like streamline a little bit and, make that process a little bit more enjoyable, it makes the whole process a little bit more enjoyable. I can spend more time like making the video, thinking about what the content is rather than the hurdle of like actually producing it. So
That,
Awesome answer.
yeah, I was gonna say because that I can relate to as far as myself. Gosh, sorry, gotta get some water. But I can relate to myself. I feel like there are certain times where I'd spend on like my first couple of videos when I first started putting like pictures or any video clips at all to it, and I was like, I'm sitting here forever. Like, and then like you said, and it's like, all right, cool, 15 people saw this after a month. It's like, okay, this is great.
But those 15 people matter.
They do. They absolutely do. Right? Especially because here's the thing. What's nice to see is if you notice that you got 15 views and then you put out something again, do you have another 15 views? And obviously you hope it keeps growing. But the point is, even if you just get that another 15 again, it's like, well, that means these people are sticking with me.
Yes.
And it's also another thing, Jace, I'm thinking about right now. Yeah, we all would love to have big numbers. We would all love to get paid doing YouTube. But there's something about those small, intimate numbers that grow such a real community amongst us. Like, if it wasn't for those small numbers, I would have never met Dan or Jace or Rick or Joe or Anthony and all the other awesome people that I know. And not going to name names, but, I know a couple of people that went up there in numbers. And the more they went up in numbers, the less I heard from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hate for that to happen within this community because I've met so many great people.
No, it's true. That's true. And it's actually something that like I feel is a concern. I don't feel like I have any right to be concerned yet. I'm by nowhere, in a position where I have to worry about this. But the thought of continuing to, grow and build and eventually just being like, you're going to get to know more and more people in a good way. How do you continuously keep that established relationship alive, right? And without making it seem like you're now pandering to other people before someone else or setting higher priorities. And it's a juggling act, big juggling act.
Definitely.
Let's see. D throws in shout out to Rick. Absolutely. He also says he's loving the background and give us the deets on how you came up with that specific background for your videos. Well, Rick, this is funny. We were actually just kind of talking about this just a smidgen before. So go for it, man. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I was just, so I'm in the basement. I just tried to carve out some space, to film. So if anybody's ever seen like my first couple videos, you can see the cool wood paneling that I have down here. So I took some shelves that I had and bunch of my Funko Pops and just tried to organize them a little bit and just class it up a little bit for what the first couple videos, and it's always a work in progress. I'm always tweaking with it just a little bit.
I think as we all are for the most part, right? Except for Shawn. He's got his on lock. He's got nothing to worry about.
Rick, don't
Not true at all. Not even a little bit.
Rick, don't take this as because you're our special guest. I'm gonna say this, but I've always thought you have one of the best backgrounds from all the subscribers I have. I've always thought that.
Thanks, man.
It's
I
awesome.
appreciate that.
No, yeah, you could tell that there's been a lot of a thought and attention put into that.
Karen Love was put into that room.
Yeah.
Karen.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be thrown in there.
I thought he was in love too.
We got Lisa. Lisa's with us.
Lisa,
Yes.
While washing the hair. Oh, you know what that means. John, you're not the only one who showers and does this stuff simultaneously.
For those of you that don't know, whenever people have premieres, for some reason, I tend to be taking a shower. So I'm watching the video as I'm taking a shower, and it happens all the time.
It's true. It's very ironic timing. We got everything horror. What's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for being here, Hector. I'm doing much better now that we are here doing this. It is,
Yes.
look, I don't know about with you guys. I know we usually say it in the advertising leading up to this and everything, like, hey, if you've had a stressful week, then, come and relax and decompress. And I will say this, not every week is always like, oh gosh, it's the most stressful thing. But this week, guys, I am very, very happy that we were getting a chance to go down, sit down, and shoot the shit like this, because it's not like the end of the world, but it's just enough stress where it's like, man, I gotta give me one of these, and I gotta have some good discussion with my boys.
Yes.
I feel you, man.
Absolutely. So cheers to that real quick.
Cheers. Water.
Yes.
Spice. Everything nice.
Let's see, 1-2 combo here because we have Cheetah Will View. Patrick, how's it going?
Patrick, what's up?
What's up, Patrick?
And I believe we have the first answer to our question of the week, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm not too sure what else this would be hinting at. So Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm guessing you're saying you would like a reboot of Guardians of the Galaxy?
In what way?
he doesn't like them. I think he said that last time, or he doesn't like either of them.
Really?
Whoa, okay.
I love Patrick. He is always throwing in those hot takes. I love it.
So real. That's why he's awesome.
Hot takes are great, absolutely. Yeah. Now, okay, so Patrick, just as a quick follow-up, right, if by chance you are around to hear this, I'd be curious. Is it strictly just because of, like, casting, story, both? And, as tough as this is, because it's an ensemble cast, who would you, like, if you don't like the casting, who would you rather play? The people. Like, I don't like Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. All right, so who should be Star-Lord? Keep it going there a little bit. But that's an interesting one, and I appreciate you having that to throw in. We got another one here as far as I needed a reboot of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen years ago. Give it to me.
Yes.
Now,
I wish.
Well, I was going to say, all I was going to mention was just I haven't seen the original still.
Me
I
either.
just wish that Sean Connery could come back and play that character, but everything else was different. That's all. But I still like it's a guilty pleasure of mine. But I still would definitely love to see that remade.
Anybody else seen it?
I was young. I don't remember.
Was young?
It's honestly, it's better than, I think, this is a controversial hot take alert, but I think it's better than most people say. Like, it came out at I think the early 2000s, so like CGI is trash. Let's just get past that. It's just a great concept, and they have fun with it. There's a lot of cool things in it. It's definitely worth a watch.
Well, I'm more incentivized to check it out now. I've always kind of been tiptoeing around it. Like if it ever has come up in conversation, I'm like, maybe. But if it seems to have that positive a response, all right, Rick, I'll trust your opinion there.
It is also the movie that made Sean Connery not want to do Hollywood anymore. So that's
Oh my god, that's
that's like I think it's his last live action movie. And then he did like some crazy animated movie. But yeah.
Ooh, this is one that's interesting because I agree with this. So the diss track, I really wanted to see the Universal Monsterverse happen, but Tom Cruise Mummy movie destroyed that. Yeah, it did. Unfortunately, that was not a good movie. Honestly, I feel like the most standout part to me about it was Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and I don't even feel like that was that great. Like, but that's the one part that like stands out the most to me because I was like, ooh, they're trying to hint at that this is like expanding into other stuff, but just never went anywhere.
I never watched it, but I do agree with this. I think it's called the Dark Universe.
The
Dark Universe, yeah. So, but the new Invisible Man could start a different kind of it. You know, like that'll be a different, like a dramatic, more kind of one. Not so much fantasy.
See, I don't know if the Invisible Man would start a universe then, but if a universe were to ever start, I would like to see these films to follow in the suit of an Invisible Man as compared to like an action-y type of movie like Tom Cruise's Mummy, which I think is what they were trying to go for, not only with the Mummy, but if the Mummy did succeed, Frankenstein, Dracula, all the other MonsterVerse movies that were supposed to happen, I really saw them becoming action-type films, and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted something a bit more down to earth, a bit more sincere, like The Invisible Man.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
I think Dracula Untold and I, Frankenstein were gonna be too. They were trying to do it with that as well.
Yes. Yeah, Dracula Untold was their very first attempt.
Yeah.
And then they didn't exactly go there. And then they tried again with The Mummy to be like, so The Mummy was technically the reboot to the Dark Universe to a certain extent. And then that didn't go that great either. Which, I agree with like so heavily with you, John. I think that those movies, certain times it's like, oh, let stuff die, let it be. It was made, it was done well, and it's fine. But if it's made well, that's the biggest contingency there. Those are properties that really deserve to kind of live on and be told in a new way to have people still remember and like it a lot and everything. And then just be able to refer back to old stuff to relate to the new stuff. But the Mummy, the Werewolf, Dracula, Frankenstein, those are all things that's like you could do something really new, grounded, dark, twisted, gritty with it that is down to earth. It's not so explosions everywhere. And like really kind of more of a, I guess grounded is the best word I could think of here. Just more of a grounded take.
Yeah, they're doing the Wolfman. They're doing the Wolfman, I think, with Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's like the Nightcrawler something to do with the Nightcrawler.
Love that.
Yeah.
I just think let's not make it a blockbuster. Let's make it a Blumhouse production, like what they did with The Invisible Man. Yeah. Let's make it small. Let's, not put all of this crazy money in it. Like you said, Jace, all these explosions, like a Michael Bay production. Like, we don't want to see that. Like, we want these small, intimate productions about these monsters, I think. And I think that's what was missing with that Mummy movie.
Well, because like I think the biggest difference is that these characters in this universe they're character pieces, whereas like a lot of superhero stuff that we're used to are set pieces, Yeah. So that's the biggest, I think, difference there to dissect from it.
I'm curious as to what Rick has to say about this.
No, I agree with Jace on that, and John, you too. Like, just trying to replicate like the MCU, but with the Wolfman or Frankenstein, just doesn't really represent the spirit of those characters. So it's probably doomed to fail. Like every time you try to do that, the Mummy maybe, right? Because the Brendan Fraser movies kind of kick ass. And they are very actiony. At least I think they kick ass. You guys have your own opinion as you will. But they're still like they're fun. They're not super serious, right? They're not trying to be like more than just a cool story. But I think that moment, and I feel this way about the DC universe too, like the moment where you're just like, damn it, we're making a cinematic universe and this is all gonna link up, is when you just start to lose it and you're not paying attention to the thing immediately in front of you. You're just trying to build something grand.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it starts to fall
Such
apart
a great
bit.
point.
Yes. No, and I think actually, Rick, that's proven by how, even though it's the part that stood out to me the most, but that's proven by me mentioning that them including Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in The Mummy with Tom Cruise. It's like that was them already trying to branch out into stuff before they rightfully should have or had any grounds to be able to do so on. Yeah. Gotta walk before you run.
Yep.
So
looks like Eric is confirming that he's seeing it Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Eric's
wow.
movement is booked.
Also, he did confirm that he thinks that that's the perfect runtime. So 2 hours and 40 minutes or so is perfect.
Eric.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this one. D, damn it, man. I'm not joking. D, if you're here, then do me a favor, right? Please. How, it seems like a simple question, bud, but how do you come up with these questions ahead of time? Are you really just like on the spot thinking of all these? What is it with the mastermind quality behind these questions? But that's just to give you praise, because we really always appreciate what you have to throw in here. So how do each of you decide what type of films or TV shows to cover or not? What's the criteria? If we don't mind, I would like to start with Rick, just strictly because, Rick, I know you don't always do TV shows or movies. I know that obviously you got the Funko Pops as well. So when you do decide to do a show or movie, what is it that leads you to do that?
Honestly, it's just whatever I end up watching. I really try not to and I know it sounds kind of weird, but I try not to watch something with the intention of doing a review on it. Because then I feel like I get too critical on it. I'm like, I gotta figure out what's wrong with this, so I have a counterpoint to the things that I liked. So if I just watch something and I'm like, all right, let's talk about this, because that's very much like why I started the channel, was just like my inability, like because of COVID, right? My inability to have those conversations with friends and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch this Marvel show and then just yak about it for 15 minutes on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. Whatever I happen to be watching, and if I'm excited to talk about it, then I'll usually do a video on it.
Nice.
I love how you mentioned that you don't watch it with the intent of reviewing it, because then you see it more like a critic than an actual film fan, because that's something I still struggle with. With everything that I watch, I still struggle with that. Like I watch it with like the intent of like, if I have time, I'll review it, and then I start criticizing it and nitpicking it, and it's like, oh, Jonathan, you gotta freaking stop, man. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just want to mention real quick, Rick, as a follow-up to that. So, because I agree, I think that's a better way to look at it. Maybe not to have like that predetermined thought process going into it, so you're not overly judgmental. What about though? Like, I know you're covering What If as well, and that's got to be different, because I'm guessing before the episode's coming up, you're going to be covering that, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. You cut me down right there, Jesus. my whole ethos. No, that's a good point. It definitely does have a different feel. I try really hard, like John said, to just kind of go into it and just absorb it, and then spend some time before I actually turn the camera on, right, and think about it and all right, and not just try to give a hot take or something inflammatory. Try to just talk about the things that I liked about it, and just try to be very genuine about it, because I feel like sometimes if you're thinking all right, I'm gonna create I have to come up with some type of hook to this video. There's got to be some important statement here, but you might get a little crazy out of take just trying to do that. So I think that's probably how I go into WandaVision, Loki, that kind of thing. Just think about it for a minute, and try to just be as genuine as possible.
Nice, good stuff. Well, I gotta be honest, I'm really curious to hear everybody's answer on this one. I thought this was a great question. Dan, I'll throw it to you.
like it's usually a movie that I see, but it's like a big movie like that came out of theaters. Marvel is always I'm always gonna cover Marvel just because I love it so much. But like Tammy Faye wasn't one that I would normally review. Like it's not on my channel that much that cut those kind of movies, but I love Jessica Chastain's performance so much that I wanted to talk about it. And I'm just on a roll right now. I want to review everything now. So I don't know. I just whatever I see really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn, what about you? Because I know that like you cover a lot, but I mean in the sense of like it still though does seem like you have like a almost like a focus, right, as far as what you're doing. It doesn't really just seem like it's anything and everything. Yeah, how do you kind of narrow it down to what you're going to end up covering?
So every morning, and I've done this for years, I wake up and watch movie trailers or TV trailers or any of those things. So I'm like there's a feeling that I get. It's like an intuition, I feel like, at least for me, like this is something that people are going to want to watch. And then I make sure that is what I'm going to cover. And sometimes it doesn't work at all. And no one watches it. So, and then sometimes it does, but it's like a feeling that I get whenever I watch a trailer that I'm like, that is what I want to cover.
So it's strictly the trailers. Like it's never, okay. Wow. That's interesting. So is it ever a time where it's the opposite? Like what we were saying, where you haven't seen the trailer, but you see the movie or just the show, and then you're like, shit, I got to talk about this.
That's definitely happened. And it just happened with the other two, which I just reviewed. And I love this show. I had heard nothing about it, and I just popped it on because there was nothing else to watch. But not usually. Usually it's like me watching a trailer and then like, that's what I want to cover.
Okay. I can only imagine that there's been times where, trailer was really good, get like one episode into something or maybe half hour into something, you're like, oh, what the fuck did I decide to do here?
Exactly. It's happened before.
John, what about you, man? What specifically leads you to cover what you're going to cover?
It's a little bit like Dan. Like I watch whatever I can, honestly, when I can, whenever I can. And what I do to decide what to cover is kind of just depending on time. Like, do I have enough time to cover this movie? If I do, I'll cover it. And if I don't, I don't. And I'll just go to my ranking list and I'll talk about it by the end of the year when I make my ranking video,
That's fair. Nice. Because I'm right there along with you guys for the most part. It really comes down to, and I actually think, Shawn, the culmination of all the answers here, it comes down to like a feeling that you get while you're watching something. So I'm not going to get into the discussion, but I'm at least going to identify it real quick. So, for example, The White Lotus, like how Dan was bringing up something he doesn't normally cover. No, I'm not going to start the whole thing. The White Lotus is a show that I normally would not cover. I am very much, if anybody's at all familiar with my channel, I am hugely superhero and Star Wars oriented. And that's not the only thing. It's, kind of a lot of stuff in that fantasy field, whatever the case may be, right? Sci-fi type stuff. But that doesn't mean I'm against covering other stuff. As a matter of fact, I like starting there and having my roots in that. And that's probably always what I'll focus on. But I really do enjoy covering other things, a variety of things. And if anything, it's when something leaves you with a feeling to where like you just can't stop thinking about it when you're done. Whether it's for good, bad, or indifferent, that's not the point. It's when something leaves you with just like, I can't stop fucking thinking about that, right? Like maybe it's because I just finished watching it. So you know what? I'm gonna rest on it. I'll sleep. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, why is that one of the first things that I'm thinking about? So when it leaves me with an impact kind of like that, I find it hard not to do something on. Obviously, it's a dedication when you do decide to cover something. So it's just, like, all right, I got to commit to this. And that's the part where, it's weighing out the balance of what do I really want to cover, like really, really want to do versus what I can respectfully have the time to do. But yeah, I guess it's just all about like something that leaves a huge impact on you. Though I will also give the easy answer. I obviously cater a lot towards the superhero stuff. And I wanted to have this on. I'm glad we were like talking DC and stuff. I don't have a lot of DC content on my channel, which is really not fair. It would make me seem as though I'm biased towards Marvel, and I'm not. It's just there's unfortunately not as much good DC content to cover. But I do have a Suicide Squad video I've been working on for a bit. I don't want to say too much else, but I'm excited to have that come out sooner than later. So be on the lookout. Let's see here. Got Shewine. What's up?
Fine.
It's so good to see you. I feel like one of our top supporters. I feel like ever since she came onto the scene, and I know that. Well, actually, let me be clear. Her and her husband. I do not want to make it something where it's ever since I've seen more from them. I very much identify and realize that it's the team of them. So Shewine, to you and your hubby, thank you so much for being as cool as you've been with us this whole time, and props to you for continuing to do good with making your fantastic content. Good evening, gentlemen, and everyone in the chat. Hope you're having a spectacular Friday. Which is your theme park of choice? I like this. Okay, Universal.
Jonathan.
Okay, John needs to answer this first. John, I won't say too much, but he does happen to maybe live not too far from certain theme parks. So, John, I feel like you might have a good opinion on this.
All right, so I was raised and I currently live in Orlando, so I'm a big theme park goer. I'm always at the theme parks. I'm at the movie theaters, but I'm at the theme parks more than I am at the movie theaters, believe it or not. I'm an annual pass holder at Disney World. I'm an annual pass holder at Universal Studios Orlando. Tickets for SeaWorld are cheap enough that if I want to go, I'll just buy a one-day ticket. I love theme parks. Now, what is my theme park of choice? It's interesting. Universal's fun. I'm going to Universal in a couple of maybe in an hour or so. I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights, but it's Disney. It's Disney. I absolutely adore Disney, and I know it's not for everyone. I know for a lot of newcomers that go to Disney, they don't end up liking it because it's been hyped up their whole life. The thing is, I think Disney is a place that really works off of nostalgia, and that's what it has for me. Every time I go to Disney, it's like a nostalgia blast to 11, like turned up to 11, and I adore it to death. I live, breathe, die Disney World, so that's my pick.
Nice. Rick, what's yours, bud?
I haven't been to a theme park in years, so that's kind of tough. If I had to pick, it would be Universal Studios Orlando circa 1995, when they still had the Jaws ride and Kong Encounter, or whatever the hell that ride was, and Back to the Future. Like, I loved those. The E.T. ride, those are so cool. But I probably haven't been down that way in like 15 years or something crazy, so I'm overdue, needless to say.
Mm-hmm. Well, they still got the Jaws ride, right? Don't they, John?
No, Hollywood does.
Okay, that's what. Wait, what did they? Do you happen to know what did they replace Jaws with?
Yeah, well, they replaced Jaws with an entire land. It's Diagon Alley from Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, well, I mean, not to say that I'm happy that's the case, but at least they replaced it with something good.
Yeah, it is good. I really enjoy Diagon Alley.
Nice. Shawn, what about you, man? What's your favorite?
So I want to say Six Flags just because I love roller coasters. But Universal, there's something like about the studio ride and like going and seeing like all of these like set locations, and like it just makes you feel like you're a part of the movie making magic that I love. And I have never been to Harry Potter Land or whatever the hell it's called. But I love Harry Potter and I want to go so bad. But I don't want to go to the LA one. I want to go to the one in Orlando.
Right. Yeah.
Dan,
I think I know Dan's.
Well, so my answer is a lot of similar to John's, because I love Disney, and I've gone like so much, over the years with my family. We used to go like a year. We used to go at least once a year, and we haven't. Well, we went a couple years ago before COVID and everything, but it's very hard between Universal and Disney. It's very hard because Universal has Harry Potter Land.
Is that what it's called?
No, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
There you go. I'm like, was I crazy?
No. I don't know. I'm gonna say. I have to say Disney.
Dan, if I could hug you, I would.
Well, then open it up for a 3-way hug, guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm also gonna have to go with oh, it'd be this way. All right, so I'm also gonna have to probably go with Disney. So I'm happy to say that I've been to at least the 3 that are mentioned here. I've been to Universal, I've been to Disney. I'm in a very similar boat as Rick, where it's been a while, right? But nonetheless, they're such good experiences that have stuck with me so fondly that it's been like a yearning passion of mine to get back there. Like I can't explain a trip that I would rather take at this particular moment than to go back to Disney World. The only thing that has come close because it's opened up is Avengers Campus in Disneyland. And, you know, John was lucky enough to go recently, and that's something where I can, you know, from what I've seen before, from what his experience looked like, it just looks everything like I would imagine and more. So one of those, I can't say that fairly because I haven't been there. That's just a wish. I want to go. But out of places I've been to, definitely Disney World. And that's saying something because I live like about an hour away from a Six Flags. So it's not like it's that unrealistic for me to get a chance to go there every now and again. And I love it. I really do. But it's Disney World's everything that is amplified and multiplied.
Can I just say, Jace, you didn't mention it, but I would pay $1,000 to see your face while you fly the Millennium Falcon at Star Wars Land, no, Galaxy's Edge.
Oh man, I don't even know. I feel like I'd be worried that I would actually be in the midst of it, and then all of a sudden I would just like wake up on the ground somewhere, and they'd be like, "Hey, bud, you passed out. It like you all right? You just like I don't know. You just like fainted and wouldn't stop smiling, and then you just got became unresponsive. It was."
Oh my god.
Good question, Shewind. I appreciate that. Eric's just throwing in saying, so The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. And yes, Dan hit the nail on the head because of it following or being the follow-up to my favorite movie ever made. Got him even more hype. So I believe saying that The Dark Knight Rises got, you know, more hype because The Dark Knight was so good. I don't mean to be overly repetitious, but I'll say it again. I would have got the same way, but only if Heath Ledger was in it still. I can't stress that enough. I loved, I think sometimes people really just make it a big passing joke about Tom Hardy as Bane. I do actually think he did a very good job. Like when you look at his performance and the fact that all of his performance is told here, you can't see his nose or his mouth. So it's all in his eyes and his eyebrows and his forehead and everything. And there's something to that because he really kind of portrays quite a performance still that way. Yes, the voice can definitely be a little silly, especially now that it's become such a joke over time. But at the same time, it's like, I don't really think that there's anything wrong with it. I liked what he did. But
I kind of have a hot take, kind of.
Ooh, what?
Kind of.
Oh boy.
I'm like Rick today with hot takes. Okay, so like everybody else in the world, Dark Knight over Dark Knight Rises. I think everybody will agree. Mm-hmm. Dark Knight over Dark Knight Rises. I do like Dark Knight Rises. I think it's a really good movie. I really like Dark Knight Rises. And here's the hot take. I think The Dark Knight is overrated.
Yes.
Where's the button to get him out of here?
No.
No.
Shawn, I agree. Shawn.
Okay, this is something that I feel like, especially if Joe were here, he would be able to chime in on this too. So, John, it's obviously I feel like I'm biting my tongue a little bit, but I don't completely disagree with you. Because here's what it comes down to for me. Everybody loves that movie, not because none of the other performances are good, but because of Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker. So when literally, and I feel this way too, like you could kind of just cut the scenes of him and put it together, and I'd be like, I could just watch that. I don't necessarily need to see like the rest of the movie. No. And here's when I say that, no, trust me, that's me saying like my gosh, I love that movie so much. And that's me saying there is still so much enjoyment. There are so many great moments, even outside of him. It is not to take away from anything else. There's good performances all around. It's a very well shot, well scripted movie. but it is amplified heavily by that singular performance. Dare I say, so much so to the point where I would say it's his great performance is what inspired the other good performances around him. And this is not even from like my speculation. Like Michael Caine, Maggie Gyllenhaal, they all said like it was what he brought to the table that I felt like I had to step my game up and to be able to like be on par with him. So I just think that, yeah, he helped kind of bring out the best around him. All the more reasons why, you know, just he's the best part of that movie. I have a little bit of a biased opinion there, I feel like, but I agree. And I think wrapping back around to Joe, he's mentioned before that like when the Joker gets caught at the end, that's basically the end of the movie. Of course, there's still stuff that happens. I'm not trying to be stupid here. There's more that goes on in the movie. We get it. But the excitement and enjoyment that was with the rest of the movie stops when he's gone. And then it's just kind of like the prologue afterwards. You're like, all right, yeah, I guess there's some stuff to talk about afterwards. But
and then there's Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face, which like really Aaron Eckhart. Like,
it did okay. I mean, I'll put it this way. I don't know,
but like next to like Heath Ledger, like
true. The one thing I will admit is I do actually think for I don't know if I like would have picked him, but for casting purposes, he did seem to really fit in the Nolan Batman universe. Like he seemed believable as Two-Face in that universe.
Rick, you made a reaction. Do you agree with my hot take?
Yeah, I definitely think it's overrated. I think the third act is kind of rough because it's so damn rushed to get to like, you know, Two-Face just suddenly being like, all right, I'm totally off my rocker. Now I'm dead, and now Batman's on the run. And for whatever reason, like the emotional beats of that movie, they don't hit me as hard as Batman Begins or Dark Knight Rises. Like Dark Knight Rises, I would say is objectively a worse movie than The Dark Knight, but I would probably watch The Dark Knight Rises over watching The Dark Knight, just because like those emotional hits close to the end of that film, like when things start coming together and, you know, Batman returns, it's just like, this is so cool. This movie makes no sense, but these moments are just hitting. And it's weird because like it took me a long time to get to that place with that movie, because like I first saw it and I was like, that was effing great. And then I thought about it. I was like, that movie sucked. Nothing made sense. This is so stupid. But then those emotional moments just started to mean so much more for me with that film. Where The Dark Knight is a great movie, super cool, just like amazing in the genre, right? But I don't have that same attachment for whatever reason I do with Begins and Dark Knight Rises.
Damn.
Wow. I will say I think Batman Begins gets overlooked a little bit. Liam Neeson, man. Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
So we got Dragon Movie Guy. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody. Anyone watch Prisoners of Ghostland yet? Also, check out The Story of My Wife. Was great at... What am I missing here? I'm terrible. I know so many acronyms and I don't know TIFF.
Toronto International Film Festival.
Awesome. Thank you very much. There's no way I would have guessed that, so I appreciate you jumping in. I can't say that I've seen either. Anybody else?
No, I haven't even heard of him. Enlighten us, Shawn.
Prisoners of the Ghostland I saw at Sundance or South by Southwest. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But it's a Nicolas Cage movie, and it's crazy.
Pig or Prisoners?
Huh?
Pig or Prisoners of Ghostland?
Oh, Pig. 100%. Prisoners of the Ghostland is a mess. I like it because it's like balls to the wall. It goes insane, like Malignant. But Pig definitely is the better movie.
John, stop.
What is he doing?
He just rolled his eyes when you said Malignant.
I'm not gonna lie, I was not as excited to see that movie until I saw the conflicting opinions between you guys, and now I'm like even more stoked to see it.
It's crazy. Like the opinions are all over the place.
It really is. Like the movie.
There are people who love it, like me and Dan, and people who hate it, like that guy down there. And then there's Joe, who's like kind of in the middle, but more towards John. So it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
It sounds like it for sure, to say the least. Let's see. Thought I'd throw Endgame is up there, but I don't think any Marvel movie would be quite my top 10 fave movies like the entire Dark Knight trilogy is, as well as some Bonds are in the back half. Well, that definitely makes sense. And even though it's not a movie, I know Game of Thrones is still up there for you.
And
Doesn't
they're
need,
about to talk about it.
doesn't need to be.
I don't think I have a superhero movie in my top 10.
Whoa.
I
I say that jokingly because I can actually understand. I probably would, but I also don't feel like I have the same, just as far as like gauge on what I would judge of the top 10 stuff. I'm guessing you guys would probably be picking like a lot of much more like drama centric stuff.
Yeah, me and Shawn, right, Shawn?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, and I can respect that. Unfortunately, it's just, and I guess that's what's been tough for me for a while is like, and it's part of the reason I am so happy that other genres are starting to get more recognition with that type of stuff, because I get it when you have like really good actors giving really great monologues and it's shot beautifully. And, it's between a couple people where it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm so in this moment with this scene. And then like, you could feel that way the whole movie. That's great. Obviously it's not to take away anything from what is, but I always thought like, why does it need to be some super serious, dramatic type of movie just in order to be one of the best movies ever? Like, and I thought like, why is it the fact that the moment that you introduce a bit of action or superheroes or something like that, why is it like, nope, this can't be one of the best movies. How could this be one of the best movies? It's like, it's still a fucking movie. It's still a good story.
Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Good combination of everything. I love it. I love it.
There you go. Right. No, exactly. Because they're right. And it's just, of course, it needs to be done well. Just like we were throwing in about the question of the week. It's all contingent on it being done well. But, I think it doesn't really matter the subject matter as much. It could be any genre and still be up there. But obviously, props and respect to those people that are putting out the hell of performances they are.
The Academy has actually talked about, and maybe this is just because the times are changing, and they want more ratings. But what? We're gonna.
You froze up.
Oh, I froze. Am I frozen?
Yes.
No.
No, you're good for me.
No. Okay. So the Academy has talked about changing everything to kind of open it up a little bit more and they've already brought in more people who are younger, who are more, into what the mainstream is into. So we saw that with Black Panther, and I think we're going to see it again in the years to come. I think we're going to see more like beloved films from the mainstream, like superhero films, start to be nominated. So, and I'm excited for that. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I don't want those smaller dramatic films to be forgotten as well.
No, exactly right. I think that's actually what I want, is for all of them to be noticed, because then you're really getting the best. When you have to look at everything, like the best of everything, but now you're really picking what the actual best is, because you're acknowledging it all. And if it ends up being where one of those smaller dramatic pieces truly just is better than the other stuff, then hell yeah, that's just what it is. It's better stuff. That's why I like all this, that there's so much variety with it. Also, John is confirming, John C, by the way, right? Not John Man of Movies. John C is just confirming he still has no pants. Go get yourself some pants, John. I mean, I don't know if it depends. It's Friday. You could just be at home and just chilling. In that case,
Exactly.
Don't worry about the pants, man. Just keep hanging out. But otherwise, maybe get yourself some pants.
If I can go back for 2 seconds, I would bet $50 that Rick has 2 superhero movies in his top 10.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
What
fair.
would they be?
Batman Begins would be in there, and probably Winter Soldier. I think.
Nice.
Oh, okay. I could tell from what you were saying that you liked Begins. I didn't realize it was that high up there.
Oh yeah, love that movie. That movie like really made me fall in love with movies. Like I vividly remember going to see that and coming home from the theaters and be like, fuck yeah, Batman's back. Like, let's do this thing. And just get so excited.
Nice.
It's good. I love that movie.
That's awesome, man. Brian throwing in, oh wait, he threw in this right after, so he's saying if. So okay. If the Cinema Squad were Bond villains, what would each of your Bond villain names be? Holy shit. I don't even know if I know all the Bond villain names to know if I can make something Bond-esque.
Darksmith.
Come up with a name.
Darksmith.
Well, wait, real quick. While you guys are thinking of a name, maybe try and think one of for me. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. I'm sorry.
Take the camera with you. Okay, bye. Darksmith. That's actually a running joke. It's a running joke because was it Jace or Dan that didn't know Vera Farmiga's name? And I lied to them and I said her name is Vera Darksmith. And they're like, really?
I knew it, of course.
It must have been Jace.
Yeah, that was not Dan.
Okay, it was Jace then. It was Jace. And I was like, yeah, Vera Darksmith. And he's like, really? Well, yeah, Vera Darksmith. And I think Dan was the one that like, no, it's not. Darksmith is my name.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is she an actress from what I'm guessing she's an actress from? Or no, is she just an actress?
Dan, get out of here.
I don't know what actresses you would like from adult entertainment.
Bye. I can't answer that question.
Okay, Rick, what about you?
There's a lot, Dan. There's a lot.
Oh man. If for a Bond villain,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I want to be Lashif. I want to have a bloody eye. Like
I like that.
Lashif. How do you spell that?
It seems kind of cool.
Lashif with a bloody eye.
Yep, I want to be the Casino Royale guy.
But have two bloody eyes.
I mean,
Two
I
bloody
think
eyes,
everyone
yeah.
wants to see Mads. It's Mads Mikkelsen, right? Is Lashif?
Yes.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Casino
yeah.
Royale? Yeah. He is like one of the best of the best. He really is. I love that guy.
Absolutely.
Don, your turn.
Do I have to pick a Bond villain or a
No,
villain?
you make it up. You make it up.
So I think we'll see this villain later. So that's all that matters.
What's Shawn?
Dan.
Mine could be Malagante.
Maligan.
Dan,
Rick,
did I just walk in at the right? Dan, was your Bond villain name Maligant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. Rick, last week when Dan was hosting, he posted, he did a banner with Malignant on it. But did you misspell Dan?
No, I think Shawn misread it. Right?
Okay, yeah. So I think someone misread it, and it was Maliganti. And we're like, what?
It's got some flavor, you know?
It's got some flavor.
I was considering that if I was gonna do a review on it. I mean, I haven't even seen it yet, but I thought to myself, you know what? If I do a review, I'm so fucking tempted to just title it Maligant. Just to see if people would click on it to be like, wait, what?
I love it. You should, Jace.
I'd be willing to, that's for sure. Eric throwing in, even though I love Marvel, but they come out so often, I don't think I anticipate them as much as standalone films the way I do Nolan Batman or Daniel Craig Bond. Kind of fit what is my fave type of movie. Yeah, you know, it's...
I get you.
I'm going to be right there with Eric.
Well, and see, now this is a really big thing that I have a bit of an issue with, and not like for whatever anyone's opinion is. So I don't have an issue with Eric's thoughts here. The subject matter, it's tough because like when you have a genre or property that you like so much, you want to see them I want to see them pump this out. I think this is actually, we're starting to get a little bit of this worry for Star Wars fans because of all the new Star Wars shows that they're mentioning. There's The Mandalorian Season 3, The Book of Boba Fett, The Ahsoka show. There was The Rangers of the New Republic, but that's not going on anymore. And the list goes on. That's just the few. There's a lot that's supposed to be coming out. And it's a mixed emotions thing because as a fan of a property, you were like, this is great. I want to see a lot of this. And that's how I felt with Marvel this year. I'm like, this is fantastic. I love the fact that we have the movies. And then, oh my God, and there's like shows. Like we are never going to be without Marvel material. But it's a double-edged sword, right? And it is. Well, you're right. And it is something where it's like, it's tough because I don't think we would openly choose, no, I don't want any new content right now. But because we're being force-fed so much, you almost don't realize that that's actually probably what would be better for you is a little bit of a break in between. Because and then everything starts to blend together a little bit.
To me, I feel like distance makes the heart grow fonder. So the longer you have to wait for something, and we used to have to wait, a long time for a movie to come out, I feel like there's like the luster is lost in Marvel right now because it's just constant. And it's not, and once again, I love Marvel. I love Shang-Chi. I like these movies, but I still think, people are going to start getting tired of these movies and of these shows at a certain period of time. And I do think that Eric has a really good point.
If this is who I think it is, wait a second. I could be going nuts right now because I'm pretty sure that this is my girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anyone else named Nassim. That's for sure.
What?
Well, so like I know
what?
that she has a channel because she's subscribed to all you guys as well as me, which is awesome. But like, I've never seen her comment on anything ever, which is why I'm like in shock right now.
I love it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm really hoping I'm right with this.
I've been waiting for this moment.
It's just a big hairy dude named Nassim.
Actually, I feel really bad. Oh gosh, it's not me saying it, Nassim. If this is just something, we know that this is what it is. It's not like we're coming up with this. She actually has brought this up before because the spelling of Nassim for her name is apparently it's a unisex name, so it could be for either a guy or a girl. And apparently, it's just mostly the spelling is kind of what differentiates it a lot. And she's mentioned to me, and I wasn't aware of this, that apparently the way hers is spelled is what's usually used for a male. And I guess it's Nasim is what's usually used for a female. I mean, again, for me, I have no pre-knowledge of this, so I never looked at her name as far as not that. I've always been like, I love your name. So
the more you know.
Right, the more you know. I wish I had a button like that. The more you know. But anyway, so Ben, if it really is you, and I can't imagine it's someone else.
We are so happy that you're here.
Yes, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will definitely talk to you later. That's for sure, or maybe even throughout the chat here. D coming back in. I'm with John on this. I didn't see it for Sam Smith, but he tore that song up. My personal favorite Bond theme is "GoldenEye" by Tina Turner. "License to Kill" by Gladys Knight is a close second.
Ooh,
See,
nice.
like I didn't even remember that Gladys Knight did a song as bad as that may sound for these until you said that.
The "License to Kill" song is really good. I might have to change my answer. No, I'm sticking with Madonna.
Fair enough.
Madonna. Vogue.
But the "License to Kill" song is really good, and so is the "GoldenEye" one too. I mean, they're all good, right?
Can you vote?
They always seem to make a strong effort to make those very prominently unique songs.
Yeah,
like absolutely. I can't say that there's anything that sounds like a Bond song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always have something to it that's unique.
Always a mood.
Yeah.
John C., I want to do it too.
I just want to hold Jace's hand.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, this is interesting. I think that the Dark Knight trilogy and the Daniel Craig's Bond movies could actually fit into the same universe. They exist in the same exact plane of reality, realistic but still heightened a lot.
Eric.
That's actually not. I don't disagree with this.
Oh, I can't with Eric right now.
I don't know how far to look into this. I won't say it, but all I will say is I don't disagree with that. It's the one thing that I actually gave Nolan a lot of respect for with his Batman movies was the fact that they felt like a legitimate, if Batman was real, this is very well how it would be.
Add in Dom Toretto, man.
What?
Absolutely not.
What the fuck? What?
Family. It's family.
Family.
Fam-
Hey, in case you didn't know, we family.
I would
Go
love.
meet Vin
I
Diesel
want to
and
see
his
a
man
short. I want to
cave.
see a. I want to see a short film of Dom Toretto at an Olive Garden.
and
Oh
you're
my
saying Sonic.
It took
Sonic
a quick
Control.
sec. It took a quick
Control.
sec. Oh, jeez. What? Hey, Rick, I'm curious. Since you seem to be a fan of both, would you be against the idea, as ridiculous as it may be, of Batman and Daniel Craig's James Bond existing together?
No, honestly, I mean, even if you like take a look at those movies, they visually they feel very similar, right? So there's just like
That's a good point.
there's a lot of continuity between them. There's these gadgets and a little exaggeration, hyper reality or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, honestly, I'd be down for that. It'd be a lot of fun. Batmobile and the Aston Martin racing down the road. That'd be pretty cool. I'd take it.
Nice. Yeah, no, actually, that's a good point too. Yeah, see him race. It definitely could have been done well. I feel like that's the topic as far as of this live stream is if it was done well. I'd like to see a remake of The Devil's Backbone.
I've never even heard of that movie, Hector.
Either.
I have heard of it. I can't, but I have not seen it.
I own it, but I have not seen it.
Who's in it, Dan?
You
Don't
own it and you haven't seen it?
Oh,
ask
Jason,
me.
I could do a video on the stuff I own and I have not seen yet.
Same, Dan. Same.
Then why do you own them?
Collection.
Yeah, they're cool sets. They were cheap. I want to watch them. Because, Jace, you know what I was thinking? And this is a good point. Like, why do we think it's so normal to buy CDs before we've listened to the music, buy books before we've read the book, but buying movies before you've seen the movie is so odd to everyone,
That's a good point. I think it's because it is such an easier platform to be able to see something like it's just more out there. Like, there you have a chance to see a movie before it even comes out on DVD usually. But that's still a good point, man. It's a very valid point. I don't think there's necessarily something wrong with like taking a chance, and like if it's cost effective, if it's like one of those bins where it's just like either a buck or a couple bucks or whatever the case is, and you're like, you know what, seems interesting enough, and I'm not really going to be out my month's rent if I get this. So yeah, I like that thought process, Dan. That's actually
like Dan. Yeah, that was
right.
good.
Yeah, for anybody that's ever second guessing themselves, right? If it's something that's affordable and you're thinking about it and it looks interesting enough, who cares if it ends up not being that great? Go ahead and grab that sucker.
Yeah, go bankrupt. Be a man.
Oh my gosh. Old is the one movie so far this year that I would say I hated.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. I don't hate it, but
Me and Jace, I think, are on the same boat here.
Man, I gotta say, the more it sank in with me, the more I found appreciation for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't care how this sounds. Extra validation from my friend John made me feel better about it. Because I remember getting out of it thinking to myself, that was actually pretty fucking interesting. And then again, I kept thinking about it, and then I was like, but am I just nuts here? Because it seems like everyone I'm talking to hates this. And then John, all of a sudden you brought out your review and you were like, is it that bad or whatever? And I was like, you're right, man, it's not.
It's old is great. That's literally my title. I thought it was great. Rick, have you seen Old yet?
No.
I haven't seen it. No.
I want to know what you would think, man, because that's also another divisive film, like Malignant. But there are people don't outright love Old. I mean, I don't necessarily love it, but I do really like it. I think it's a great film.
Yes.
But there are also people like Dan and Eric that hate it, man.
That's John. The way you said it,
Shawn.
it's not. There are so many. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I have a list of things that I would potentially review, and Old was one of the top things on my list of to potentially review because I like it enough to review it, but I also would absolutely be thrilled to just completely poke fun at the absurdity that exists within that movie. There's a lot of ridiculousness that is throughout the entire thing. Nonetheless, it was still enjoyable for me, right? And actually, can I say this without obviously giving any spoilers? Don't worry.
Jesus.
But the twist, bless
die.
you, Shawn, bless you.
Having an allergy attack.
The twist, right? So nothing surrounding it, just the twist.
Yes.
I actually don't think it was that bad of a reveal.
Oh, I like the twist.
Yeah, like
it's good.
you know what I mean? Like
I like
that's
the twist.
I feel like that's something where it's like that shit's hard to pull off. To
Like,
make it where it's like that's satisfying.
I have no idea how they even added Batman. Oh, sorry.
Damn it, John. Let's see. Our respect for everyone's opinions notwithstanding, what is a film-related hot take that you found difficult to swallow?
Difficult to swallow.
Ooh, I know one.
Joker, right? Shawn Joker.
Well, I mean, that's my hot take. But, I mean, this is not a film related, but The White Lotus with Jace.
Oh, with Jace. Yeah.
What about the Lord of the Rings with me? Because I don't like the Lord of the Rings that much.
I don't know. I
Get out
I
of here,
think
Dan.
it's sad that you can like, it makes
Get
me
Van
sad
outta
that you
here.
like The Lord of the
Go.
Rings.
you got Rick wanting to go. Oh!
I still love you, Dan.
I mean,
Oh,
I
man.
feel like I've had time to like digest that. So The White Lotus is like a little bit new for me with Jace and having to deal with that. But
I know
You know.
one.
What happened?
My hot. I guess it's the people that think that Shawshank Redemption's better than Forrest Gump because I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Forrest Gump is a way better movie than not way better. I shouldn't have said it like that, but it's a better movie than Shawshank.
they're all good movies. Pulp Fiction too. Like even though I don't like, it's not like Pulp Fiction's not in my top 10. I still think it's a great movie. So I mean, it was Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, and Pulp Fiction. You know, like that was one of the best years in cinema, at least
Yeah.
with the Oscars. So,
Yeah.
it's a good point.
Rick.
So Dan, just briefly fill me in on this Lord of the Rings take because I feel like this is going to be the thing that just sends me over the edge in life. But let's hear it. Let's hear this Lord of the Rings take.
I think I watched the extended. I haven't actually seen the third one fully.
You're killing me, Dan. You're killing me, man.
The first two doors, I watched the extended editions. They're just too long and boring, and I don't care. They were too long, too boring.
All right, I'll give you this, right? So I wouldn't recommend the extendeds on like a first watch because the extended's like the deluxe version of an album, right? It's like you already like this thing, give me more, kind of like what we were talking about Marvel. Just pile it all on, but man, watch the theatricals, watch all three. Return of the King is so freaking good. You know, tying back to the emotional beats I was talking about in Dark Knight Rises. Return of the King, Aragorn. Please watch it, please.
For
Just watch the
Frodo.
last like 20. Yeah, oh my god, dude, that's like one of my favorite scenes ever, all time in any movie. Like every time there's like a tear. I'm like, yeah, damn right for Frodo. Let's go, man. I'm with you. So good.
That's
Please,
actually,
Dan, do this for me.
That's actually one of my wow movie moments, Rick. I made a video a long time ago. One of my wow movie moments is that scene at the Black Gate where he says for Frodo. And it's not because he charges, but it's because the first two to charge after Aragorn are Merry and Pippin. And I love that.
Oh,
Yes,
so good. So good.
Yeah, Dan, I don't know what you're missing, but you need to get on board, buddy.
Yeah, nah.
At least watch the third one, Dan. Just watch the
Exactly.
third one.
You
I
haven't
started
given,
the
you haven't
third one.
given it all a shot.
I started the third one, but
Well, I'll watch Malignant if you do.
really,
Malagante?
that's no fair because that's like 1/3 of the movie. 1/3.
I absolutely, I love how you just got Rick so fired up there.
I know, I love it.
Lord of the
Because
Rings.
because here's the thing. Can I say that is not to like try and make Rick? I appreciate your passion, my man, because I feel like I get in the same boat sometimes, and then people look at me and they're just like, "Geez, what's like? Would you take it easy? Calm down." It's like, fuck, I'm just passionate about it. Would you take it easy? I'm sure you're passionate about something, and there we go, right? Rick showing, hey, you know what? It's okay, and obviously there's a reason that exists. So Dan, obviously, is a favor to all of us at this point. And I can't even say I'm in the same boat. My gosh, I do really like Lord of the Rings, but I can only imagine I just know that I don't know it as well or could say as much about it as the rest. But I do know that it's really worth watching. Especially, if you haven't just gotten through the last one, then, like we said, just do a favor to yourself so you can at least say, you know what, if I still don't like it, it's because I could say I've watched it all the way through and I still don't like it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm counting on you, Dan.
Wait, we didn't get to Hector's comment.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I clicked as far as you guys seen the I Know What You Did Last Summer? Wait, is this a new trailer?
TV show.
Yeah, it's a new Amazon show, and I've actually watched it.
Oh,
is it any good?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Why would they? Why?
I mean,
I haven't seen
the
it.
trailer is worse than the show itself. But I mean, the movie wasn't even that good. It just feels like they're trying to like recreate something like nostalgia, or I don't know what.
That's literally the movie, though. The movie's literally trying to recreate Scream.
Yeah, and
I
so
like
that's
that
what
movie.
this is doing. 15 years later or 20 years later or whatever. So, I mean, it's not. I mean, yeah, Sarah wants to cover it.
Is it just the same premise as before? Like it's just the same exact thing? Like
Yeah, but like in series form.
Is it Pretty Little Liars? It sounds like Pretty Little.
Yeah, it's like Pretty Little Liar. It's like very young. It's like updated, so it's like social media, all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer. I don't have any interest in it. Because like
we don't need a remake of that.
Yeah. The Chucky series, I actually liked the trailers for the Chucky series.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Let's see what I was at least getting to before I accidentally skipped over. So thank you, John, for catching me on that. Great points about the intimacy of the community you guys have cultivated. That's what makes these streams so special. Eric, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I hope it's definitely not just us saying it. That's for sure. Because I think we can all agree that that's how it feels. But it is something different when it's validated amongst other people. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sorry you had a rough week, Jace. We're here. Ah, man.
Eric Thor.
Hey, that exactly. Just hug it out. Seriously, man. Thank you. And I feel, believe me, if it was, I would probably even say if it was actually that much worse. It was, it's one of those where it's like, I really need the weekend right now. That's all. You know what I mean? Where it's one of those points where it's nothing unrealistic. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna lose my mind if it's not that. It's just, you know what? There's been enough that's kind of taken place, and I just kind of need that weekend here. So, Like I said, I'm really happy to be here with all you guys. This is already making it so much better.
Yes.
What is a film that's considered overrated that you all can appreciate and enjoy regardless? Mine was Citizen Kane. Oh gosh, D, I give you credit because I barely remember Citizen Kane, but I do remember watching it and being like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" Maybe I'd feel different if I watched it again now, but I remember at the time it was like for a film class in school, and I was just like, "Oh gosh."
Well, I think Citizen Kane is just remembered more as a film that kind of revolutionized what you could do with film. I don't think it's necessarily the best film.
Okay.
But I know that what's John gonna say?
I don't completely disagree, Shawn, but I think mine would also be Citizen Kane. I think that movie, it revolutionized a lot of what we see in film now, storytelling wise, technical wise.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze up?
Go?
John!
come back.
Johnny, come
This
back.
is just for dramatic pause.
Johnny, come back.
Do. Johnny, come back.
Oh my God, I really think.
Ah, shit. Oh, wait, yeah. Ooh. All right, we're back.
I just saw little circles. It looked like the Twilight Zone. I was singing the theme song. Did you hear me?
No, did you hear? We were serenading you to come back.
It worked. I saw Citizen Kane a couple of months ago for the first time.
Oh no.
God
No.
damn it. It's not funny, but the timing is impeccable here.
So that's his freeze frame for the night.
Oh my God. We do got to manage to squeeze that in some. Oh, shit. Come on. Shit. John, come back.
What about you, Danji?
I don't know.
It is actually, yeah, it's a pretty tough one.
Yeah.
I know mine.
Shawn,
Well,
what's
shit, then say it.
Roman Polanski's Chinatown. And I
Oh.
love film noir so much. I love this genre, but that movie, every time I fall asleep every time. Like, it is so boring, and I want to like it so much, but it's
Wait. But it's a film that's considered overrated from other people, right? And that you enjoyed.
that's considered overrated that you can all appreciate. Oh, yeah.
That's why I couldn't think, because it'd be easier the other way around.
Yeah.
'Cause I know mine if it's ones we consider overrated.
Damn it.
Not
Why
Lord
is
of the Rings. Not Lord of the Rings.
Thank you, Dan. That's not the question. Okay, well, Chinatown is overrated.
I don't know if this qualifies because I'm not sure if it is overrated. Maybe I think it is. Avatar.
Oh yes, I love that choice.
Right. I do actually. I think that it kind of gets looked at as a very overrated movie, and at the same time, I still really, really appreciate it. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
That's me acknowledging that I actually don't find it at all to be the most original piece of work. Now, that is not to say that, my gosh, it is visually stunning. There is so much that is still brought to the table that's different. But, all I could think the entire time, I was like, wow, it's a live action Fern Gully. That's because I love Fern Gully as a kid. So, like, if you haven't seen that movie, watch it, and you will think to yourself, like, wow, this really feels like Avatar. But anyway, yeah, I mean, still, nonetheless, it actually reminds me of this, and I feel bad that John isn't here to hear me say this. So, John, I hope you're still hearing me say this. It reminds me when John said about how he thinks that The Force Awakens is better than A New Hope. And he said it's because it's not that it's more original.
Mm-hmm.
He said he thinks that it took the same premise and just made it better. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm not trying to say like Avatar is better than Fern Gully. They're so different. It's hard to compare. What I'm saying is it took a similar premise that I was familiar with, but it still made it feel really cool. Like I didn't feel the whole time like I'm just watching something I've seen before. It was still cool and fresh and original.
Rick, what are your thoughts on that?
On this question or Avatar? Avatar I've seen like 20 minutes of, and I was like, I can't watch this. This isn't for me.
Wait, you haven't even seen the whole thing?
No, so I'm just like bashing Dan over here for not investing 4 hours of his life, and I haven't even spent an hour on Avatar. So don't tell him I said that. I think he disappeared. But I'll stay a hypocrite. It's okay. Yeah, we try. My fiance and my daughter, we tried watching it one day, and for my daughter's age group, it's just a little bit too much cursing. Like it had been a long time since my fiance saw it, so we were like watching it. And I was like, I have no interest in ever finishing this movie. Like, I think it's just I know what the story is, so now I don't really, and I'm not seeing it in 3D. So like the big draw of that movie of like seeing it in the theater in 3D is like gone. Like I'm gonna watch it at home. I don't know. I don't have a draw for that movie. For the question, this is a damn hard question.
It is a hard one.
Yeah.
I think I want to go like The Last Jedi. But it's hard to even say that one because depending on the camp that you're speaking with, it's either overrated or it's like incredibly underrated. So I don't know. I think some people consider it overrated, but I still think it's a really great Star Wars film that carries a lot of the spirit of the series and has a lot of love. It's a love letter to that series. That's probably the best I can think of. That's a damn hard question. D Movie Man. Thank you for putting me on the spot there.
Right, I swear that's how I felt about like with all of those questions. I'm always that same feeling, just like, man, way to go ahead, and I love it. Right, it's definitely the questions you want, but then you feel bad because like, shoot, I probably have a sufficient answer for this, but I gotta do some mental digging before I can get to it.
Absolutely.
But, like, overrated is so like subjective. Like,
yeah. Well, but I do think it's pretty fair. Like, usually, even though I agree, right? Very subjective thing. But I think that you can kind of always agree that there is one that's like by the masses, it seems to be overrated, right? Like amongst a lot of opinions, it's like this one just seems to get more praise than you would almost expect it to, or that it should, or something like that. So, but I still agree, though.
Yeah.
See, Brian's thrown in, I'd like a reboot for anything and everything ruined by Zack Snyder.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
You're killing Eric right now.
Shots fired. Well, actually, speaking of which, so Eric threw in right away. And Brian, why? I know you hate Snyder, but I never understand why, but I respect your opinion. And then he's also saying the Snyder Cut is my favorite movie of 2021 easily, but I'm hopeful that No Time to Die will top it. Of course you are, Eric. But yeah, anyway, so I mean, just jumping right back to this then, what do you guys think? Are you a Zack Snyder fan?
I mean, I like his movies. I wouldn't say like
I do too.
Like it's like I don't.
I liked Army of the Dead pretty well. And I loved the Justice League, his version of it. And Watchmen, and Dawn of the Dead. So there's some movies there. There's a filmography there.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's probably quite a few that we could sit here and be like, yeah, this wasn't the. I think almost everybody has like a bit of hit or miss.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's got like 100% success rate where it's like every single thing they ever made is just the best thing ever. But yeah, it's tough because he's like his own category. Mm-hmm. And it's and gosh, this is going to sound like a really weird comparison. So I don't mean this in a bad way. I do think Zack Snyder is better than what I'm about to say. But for some reason, he's always given me a vibe of like his own, like he's a different version of Michael Bay. Like, because he's just his own, and he's created like his own kind of field of.
Eric's going to go off in the comments.
No, and trust me. Better than Michael Bay. Like, it's not really, I don't mean to say that like it's a comparison between the two, but just like something about it, like it's his own field. Yeah, own aesthetic. Thank you. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Something's up with my Wi-Fi. I don't know.
Oh shoot. Hey, in the meantime, if it's coming through, oh gosh, this will be a really, really fun one. So I actually want to talk about this, but I will use this as a segue for me to temporarily step away again as I pop this on and let everybody go ahead and say their opinions on it real quick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you, John.
Yeah. But you're super glitchy.
I'm far, right?
What, John?
Do I sound far away?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what to say.
John.
Come back.
Jonathan.
Give me a second.
Okay, so Rick, what are your thoughts on Game of Thrones season 7?
I have actually never really seen Game of Thrones. So I'm really bad for it. Like, again, Dan, you might have missed this, but I totally like just rained on your parade about Lord of the Rings. But so same thing with Game of Thrones. I got like 40. I got like halfway through the first. No. I'll say this. I think I watched the whole episode, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. This isn't hooking me, and I have finite amount of time. I'm not getting invested in this, so I've just never really seen any of it.
That's fair.
The first season's boring too, just so you know. So,
yeah. Dan.
Yeah, the first season's. It took me a while. Like it took me seasons, and over a big amount of time to watch Game of Thrones. I was about to say Lord of the Rings. But I mean, it's not my favorite, but I like it.
You have to invest a lot of time into it, and I do think that the last season is not worth it. Like there was so much hype, there was so much, but it's almost like Spider-Man Far From Home. What is it called?
No Way
Home. It's like that. Like there's so much hype around it, and everyone has all of these opinions and all of these ideas, and then when it happens, it just doesn't live up to what your expectations were. So I think that's the case. I still think it's worth a watch, but the last season's really bad, especially like the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think it's like I don't know, this is probably not the right term, but like the soap opera aspect of it, like the constant, like, I think, and this is a thing that like a lot of people like, is like the constant backstabbing and this happening and all of this. And like, I don't know if it's the same. Obviously I haven't seen it, but it reminded me a little bit of like Sons of Anarchy. It's like you can't even like get invested, because now they're just going to pull the rug out from under you just for the sake of like a twist or being controversial or something with whatever they're doing in the episode. And that's sort of the vibe that I got, because I like heard about that show late, and everybody's like, oh, well, no one's safe, everybody gets killed off, and I'm like, well, I'm just the type of person that gets hooked on a character, and then I want to follow that journey with the character, and if it's that type of environment,
I feel like that's the same thing with The Walking Dead too. Like it just kind of became a show that it's like, we're just gonna constantly, like, I mean, excuse my French, but like, fuck you if you like.
Hey,
we're gonna take them away.
Shawn,
like they just what?
Remember whose channel you're on. You don't have to apologize for swearing.
But like that's how The Walking Dead is, and luckily that's coming to an end. But Game of Thrones definitely jumped the shark.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys would agree. I don't mind what happens in the final season of Game of Thrones. They just needed to execute it better and have a longer season.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
And with the with the character that I think a lot of people had issues with, they needed to draw that out over the past seasons too, and make this person seem like that person could have that change.
Visually and like directorial and cinematography wise, everything like that, it's on point. But it's that is the one thing that drives me crazy about that last season. Actually, there's a couple of things, but yeah, that's the main one.
I feel bad that this was the one that I stepped away on, because I won't say much. John, I'll let you get to what you want to throw in. Literally, all I at least will mention is I would love to see them redo it. I am not one of those people that's like, oh, they need to. It was ruined and everything's horrible, and I don't consider this to be real. It's like, look, it is what it is. I've mentioned definitely plenty of times before that there is a specific event that takes place that a lot of people have a lot of issues with, that I actually feel like is a little bit more justified than what people consider it to be. Like, some people are like, this is just so out of nowhere, they would never do this. And it's like, the whole show is kind of proven otherwise. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean I wanted that to happen. That's the discouraging part. Like, I can kind of understand, but I didn't want it to be that way. So I would love to see if things if they would have played out a little bit different. And gosh, it's funny because what the fuck, spoilers? Just I don't know. But you're right, if we got to be concerned about talking about it. But I also do not care for the fact that the final battle with the White Walkers was so fucking glossed over. Like, it was such a epic
No
episode.
spoilers.
It was such a. Sorry in advance. I'm not saying anything in particular, but all I'm saying is just it was so glossed over. It was still very epic, but glossed over, and it was like you made it seem like that was the whole purpose of what's going on here.
Yeah, I completely agree with that as well.
All I'm hearing is I've never seen Game of Thrones.
That's right. Yeah, so everybody please do us a favor, and we're gonna post the PO box for John later and just send him
Wait, but Rick, you told me on the Loki live stream you haven't seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah.
I've never seen it either.
Okay, so we also got Rick's PO box. That is send a copy to each, just whichever season you'd like to. We'll eventually get them all of it. Lisa throwing in that I wouldn't mind seeing the Conan movies again. I love Arnie, but I think they could do something spectacular with them. Real quick, I have not seen any of this. I haven't seen the Arnie, the Schwarzenegger Conan movies. I haven't seen any of the new stuff either. But I do know Lisa. They did something with like Jason Momoa where he was Conan. So I don't know how well that was done, but
failed miserably at the box office.
Oh shit! Never mind that. I guess
there is no chance that that's going to happen for a while.
Okay. Oh, all right. Real quick, let me go ahead and divert before I jump to the next comment. I have a different thing to mention real quick, so I'm going to jump over to very briefly. There we go. Okay, John, I understand you have some things to take care of as far as the rest of this evening, and I respect that, and we love the fact that you join on as long as you can, man. So before you happen to be taken off to do what you got to do, well, two things. I was going to ask if it's not too much to ask. I was going to see if you could maybe answer this question, and then maybe we could play the skit before you take off.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Sorry, John, what do you got as far as your question? Answer the question of the week.
Okay, so what is a reboot that you would like to see? This is one that I've heard from other people, and you guys probably have it in the back of your heads, but I think it would be really cool to see a 2021-2022 remake of Back to the Future, where Marty McFly now has to travel to like 35 years down the line now. And we kind of do the same thing where they kind of make up this how 2035 is going to be looking like or something. And then it'll be fun to see, like, once we get there, was Back to the Future right again, just to see that and how modern day Back to the Future would look like.
I actually think that'd be pretty cool. It's a
great idea.
Yeah, the whole concept of did they get it right? Like, how close were they to anything, and how far off were they on so much stuff? That in itself would just be kind of funny to, as long as they didn't make it too much of that. You know what I mean? Like, that could be a little overdone, but that would be great.
Yeah.
Well,
where the hell is Dan?
Dan.
Yeah, because I don't want Dan to miss. He's the one that came up with this specific banner.
It's time for playing the skit. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
But I mean, I don't want Dan to miss it. So
no, I don't want him either. Yo, Dan, where you at, Dan?
Hey, yo, Dan.
I would also cast Tom Holland as Marty McFly.
Whoa,
that's a good bold move.
Yeah.
Huh.
We'll see how he is in Uncharted.
Wait, John, you gonna tell me that you wouldn't instead have Timothy Chalamet?
Why do you guys get Timothy Chalamet?
No, because I say like Tom Holland, and I don't think he's that good of an actor because he plays the same role in all of his movies. But I think that's why he would be a great Marty McFly, because he's Marty McFly in every movie.
That's fair.
Cherry, he's not the same.
I skipped Cherry.
It wasn't that good. I liked it better than a lot of people liked it, but
Well, all right, guys. While we still got John, and since it's not that long of one, but a good one at that, dare I say, let's go ahead and get a chance to play this skit. As everybody knows, we love to try and squeeze in a skit every single week, and so far we've been successful. And little did we know this would be such a continuity-esque thing that it is.
Yeah.
But here we have yet another continuation of things, and that is all I'll say. Oh wait, I guess no, I don't think I have to bother removing. I think I could just go ahead and play this, and it'll take us all out. All right, the skit, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I'm so excited for this opportunity.
No.
Wait, no. What?
I'm sorry, but there is no way that you are going to be Paper Bag Man's sidekick.
Can you tell me why?
His tastes are, well, more refined than what you have to offer.
I have not even shown you what I can do with all of this.
Yeah, I don't need to see all that.
I have been waiting my whole damn life for this moment. I have been doing squats and kegels to get myself here. You can't just give me a chance?
It's gonna be a hard pass, man.
That is fat ass man to you. And how about you nor your little paper bag man can handle this little booty? So, you've not seen the last of me.
Next, we have John Bond. Oh, God. Great.
It's finally my time to shine. Bond.
Okay, John Bond. Let's cut to the chase. Why do you deserve to be Paper Bag Man's sidekick?
Sidekick?
Yeah, that's what this whole fucking thing is about. Paper Bag Man is looking for his new sidekick.
You sure about that?
Oh my fucking God. Security.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Oh, shoot.
Freaking believe this.
Neither can I. I mean, have you seen this?
Whoa! I don't need to see that. I believe you.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? It is time that we become our own heroes. We need to take revenge on Paper Bag Man and that casting director.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Because I'm Bond. John Bond. And I'll never just be a sidekick.
That turned out so much better than I thought it was going to, Shawn. I'm not gonna lie. That was really, really good.
That was written and edited by Mr. Lost in the Reel, everybody.
Yeah, that happened.
Bro.
That is not my real ass, by the way.
Back that up.
He's only saying that so nobody gets jealous.
That was so good. I'm not gonna lie. That turned out so much better than I thought it was going to. I'm telling you, it's all in the editing, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so freaking good. I loved it.
I'm glad you liked it.
No, that was
Great
that
job.
was definitely something that I you know what, something that I mentioned to one of my buddies the other day was, I showed him all the skits. which I was very proud of, by the way.
Yeah.
And and I thought this was great. What we've kind of put together, and I did think it was because he was just like, man, that character that you are. He's like, that's not too bad. I said, what's hilarious is I just came up with that on a whim, right? Because it was like it was a week where no one had a skit idea, and I was like, all right, I'll throw something together real quick. And that was just a last minute on the spot thing. Little did I know that now the agent has been in more skits than me as myself have been.
You've been in one, and that's the one where Jules and Vincent kill you off from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, exactly. Other than the one with I guess me and the agent in the first place. But you're right. That's it. I've been in there a little bit. Yeah, and then I died off.
Well, and now the agent, we're out to get you. So.
Oh yeah. No, and that I cannot wait to see, especially just because as we've been joking about, just I can only imagine his reaction now of just like everyone coming after him, just being like, oh man, we're tired of this. We're coming to get you, and be like, well, I don't even fucking remember who you are, honestly. I just, I'm sorry. I do not like, he just doesn't have time for anything. I'm not joking. I was walking my dog the other day and I was like, this is so ridiculous. I was like, I wonder what the agent does have time for. And then I just came to the conclusion of nothing. He doesn't have time for anything, including No Time to Die, Eric.
Rick, what'd you think about Shawn's fat ass?
I couldn't handle it. When he did that and stared straight into the, I lost it. I just absolutely lost. And then John, when you're like, "I'm John Bond," and then you dropped your gun and it
yes,
that was
freaking. I was like crying laughing.
Okay,
so good. Your face was so perfect.
I'm so happy that part was mentioned because that is such a small, could be overlooked, but fucking hilarious part. Just the fact that the gun goes flying.
Okay, so here's a behind the scenes thing. It was always meant to kind of drop out of my hand. And I did a couple takes with it dropping out of my hand. That take, it went flying out of my hand. It dropped. The gun broke. The batteries went everywhere, and you can hear me in the video later on going, "Oh shit."
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you what, I really hope that everybody has been enjoying those as much as we have been enjoying putting them together and and presenting them all to you, because they've been a blast. And if you haven't liked them, then by all means, I hope that you can tolerate it. So hey, I just want to definitely bring up John. I'm guessing, is this, since we've gotten the chance to play that, is this where you'd like? All right, fair enough. Then let me go ahead very quickly. I'm gonna take this away. I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to go ahead and also do a little bit of bang. All right, everybody, if you haven't already, subscribe to Man of Movies and listen to what he's got to say.
Amen. What's up, guys? My name is Jonathan. I am a man of movies. I love film, everything that has to do about it. Subscribe to me. I have a lot of content out where I just review each passing week of film. I've been a little lacking lately, but I still try to post every week. I just saw Blue Bayou, which is this type of indie film that's written, directed, and stars Justin Chung. I wrote a whole script for it, so be expecting that video out soon. I have a Hawkeye trailer reaction that came out on Monday. And yeah, just check me out, guys.
Yay.
I didn't mean to do that. All right, there we go. And what the? All right. Thank you very much, John. Really appreciate you being here for as long as you can, man. Actually, this is great. You were along for twice the amount of length that I thought you were going to be here.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun. Come on now.
That's good, man. That's good. Well, hey, have a fantastic rest of the evening. Hi to Francis as well from all of us, and
love you, Francis.
Love you, Francis, and can't wait to see you, obviously, for next week, because maybe this is a good time to mention it as he's leaving. Next week, guys, is our season finale of this.
Yes, it is.
Now, when I say that, don't be too discouraged. We'll obviously be back, but I'll get to more details on that later. In the meantime, John, I'll let you go ahead and be about your evening. Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here.
Rick, it was awesome to have you here, man. It's been so fun. Again, congratulations on 1 year still making content. That's awesome. People don't even last a couple months, so that's awesome, man.
Thanks, man. It was good talking to you again.
Yes.
Same. All right, my brothers, I shall speak to you in the chat, in the comments.
Don't get too scared.
We'll see you
Bye.
I won't.
All righty. I miss him already.
I know.
Honestly.
I feel it in my bones.
For some reason, I don't know why when you said that, because this is not befitting to the situation. But the moment you said that, I was just like, my mind's telling me no, but my body. And then I was like, why is that song popping up in my head? But my body's telling me yeah. Actually, this is a shame. I would love to hear what John's opinion is on this, but I also would love to hear all of your opinions on it. This is an interesting one, Brian. Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon was better than The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss, except for the CGI Kevin Bacon bits, which is a very fair point, even though I know he was laughing afterwards because I get why he's trying to bring it up like it's a funny thing. It's a very solid point. And if I could say quickly before I toss it around, from what I could remember of the movie, because I remember watching it at a younger age and liking it a lot, so I may agree, and that's with me saying that I still liked Invisible Man, but I think that Hollow Man was like really there's something about it. I don't know. Rick, have you seen both or either?
I saw. I don't want to use the term bits and pieces of Hollow Man back in the day. I haven't seen The Invisible Man. From what I recall, it feels like they kind of have the same, way about them, right? With Kevin Bacon's character kind of like going after, it was like a former love interest, right? And kind of like same kind of thing. I think I could be totally off base. It's like been years since I've even thought about that film, but I really can't weigh in. Honestly, I don't have enough knowledge on either to really give a good opinion.
No, that's fair. There's so many times I feel bad because I fall into the same category where it's like, oh shoot, I want to have a good answer for this, but pass. No, but Shawn, what do you think? Any opinions on the kind of thought process of that?
So Hollow Man is like a schlock fest. I feel like it's cheesy, but it's fun. Like it's a fun movie, and Kevin Bacon is, I just watched Death Sentence from James Wan with Kevin Bacon in it, and he's having a good time in both of those movies. Invisible Man is a lot more serious, and I get why people like it more, but I understand his opinion, but it's like Hollow Man is like cheesy 80s schlock fest, even though it was in the 2000s or the late 90s. And Invisible Man is a more serious movie. So both are good, in my opinion.
That's a good one. Dan, stop making me hungry.
Dan, did you bring enough for everybody?
I know.
I mean, it's a fair question, Dan.
No.
We're hungry.
I could tell he hesitated to answer.
Such a good answer.
Ooh, another good one, because this is the moment I saw it, it's just like, shit, it's making me think. And it's like, right, the whole, like Rick was saying, putting us on the spot in a good way, but at the same time, like, I need like a time to step away from this and then come back and be like, okay, you know what? At some point in time, we should just make like a video that's a compilation of our legitimate answers to D's questions of like, so we've had some time to think about this.
Yeah.
And now this is really what we want to say here. A film that was solid but was let down by its marketing. Huh. Because I feel like I know one and I just can't think of it.
Same.
There's so many. There's so many that are just not coming to mind right now. That's what's
So
tough.
I wonder if this is not so much the marketing was bad, but there wasn't enough of it. Malignant. But I mean, yeah. I think I would say Malignant.
You're making me. I can't stop looking at you. You're making me hungry. And I also
man.
can't fairly speak on Malignant because I haven't seen it yet. Shoot. You know what? From now on, if I don't know what to make the question of the week, I'm just gonna hit up D.
I know.
Just be like, hey man, I'm
Yeah,
drawing a blank.
You know whose marketing I thought was really good, even though I don't mind the movie, but the remake of Child's Play, they did like a bunch of posters with the Toy Story, as if Chucky's killing the Toy Story characters. I thought that was really clever because because Toy Story 4 was coming out the same weekend, so we all knew Toy Story 4 was going to win. But I thought that was clever, and I don't mind the movie, but it's not great.
I want to say Shazam for this one. Because Shazam, if you haven't seen it, is my favorite. It has to be my favorite movie in the DCEU, which is always hard for me to say. DCEU.
Mine too.
But I feel like not no one, obviously, but I feel like just random people, if you just ask them if they've seen it, they're like, no, I've never seen Shazam. And it was such like a quaint film for a superhero film that like it should have been marketed much more. It's a great film, and I just feel like people don't really know about it the way they should.
That's actually it's a good point. It is also, it's one of my DCEU favorites out of all the ones that they put out.
Mine too.
We do, just for what it's worth, real quick. There's another answer. Someone threw it. So the distract Edge of Tomorrow for me.
That is a great answer.
Yep.
So was that? And this is something I can't even remember. Was that just like was barely marketed, or
they like changed the title too, which definitely threw people off. They started calling it Live, Die, Repeat, and you know, just weird. That is a great film though. That is an absolute fun movie. Same
it was
thing.
like,
I feel like
a critical and audience favorite, but they decided like it was a box office failure basically, and so they basically decided to try to rename it, like Rick said, and it failed, and the whole thing failed. But the movie is great, and people should absolutely watch it.
this one? I'm definitely curious as far as Shawn, because I know you're. Well, I don't want to say you're but I know you know Ari Aster, and because is that the A24 stuff?
Yeah, they're both A24 directors. So Ari Aster directed Hereditary and Midsummer, and Robert Eggers directed The Lighthouse and The Witch.
I still really want to see Lighthouse. Like, really, really. Wait, the one with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I really want to see that. I don't know what it is about it, but something about it has really kind of grabbed me. What do you think, since you kind of know a little bit more, familiar with the filmography of them taking on the Dark Universe with the monsters and everything?
I mean, for me, I think Kevin Feige has it right. Hire these directors who have brilliant ideas, maybe not a lot of experience with bigger blockbusters. But yeah, I want to see people like this, Ari Aster and Robert Eggers. They're both brilliant. To do a Dark Universe, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Without even knowing too much about it, I feel like the tone and approach that they may take, I think, could actually be pretty interesting for that specific field. And it might be something that actually gets it going, that brings attention to it more.
Absolutely.
Playtendo guy. Hi, how y'all doing? Hey. Doing great. Definitely, as far as a fantastic end to the day / week, and definitely hoping it's the same for you, man. Thank you for joining us. Eric, getting an answer for the question of the week. I think my pick for a franchise that I would like to see rebooted eventually, but no rush, would be Indiana Jones. Okay, and I like how he also put eventually, but no rush, right? Because it's one of those maybe not they're already making another one right now, so maybe a little bit of time to breathe. But
are they? I feel like that movie has been talked about for 10 years at least.
No, weren't they? Wait, without. Yeah, exactly. Right, because wasn't
he keeps getting hurt though? Harrison Ford just keeps getting hurt. He's 80 years old and flying planes and rolling around on the ground and doing crazy things and just getting hurt all the time, which is
Well, because Shawn,
Yeah,
remember Joe
crazy.
was telling us that he like worked somewhere that he knew that Harrison Ford got hurt. Remember we were talking about, we were like, oh shit, yeah. So like, no, it's going down.
Well, they're filming it, but it's just been like it's like a long process.
Yeah, which in that one, just the same way that I'm worried about this newest James Bond, it's actually for kind of similar reasons that I'm worried about this newest Indiana Jones. It's just because I'm worried that all it is going to be somebody else stepping in and then just being like, we're the new you, and haha, you can't even keep up with us, and we're just naturally better at everything that you do, and why are you so behind the times? And
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, I'm really concerned. I'm really like in the James Bond stuff, the No Time to Die, isn't it already a thing where there's like a female agent who was assigned the title of 007 and because he was retired or some shit? Isn't that the premise of it?
I think the line just says something about your new 00. So I don't think they say 7. I'm not sure though.
Okay,
But,
because like again, I thought it was one of those where it's like it's still nonetheless like I remember that trailer just very much gives off the vibe of, and it doesn't matter by the way, male or female, it could be either thing, right? That's not the point that's relevant. It's more so the fact that somebody knew that like we have no reason to understand that they have any right to be as good as they are at anything. Just step in, they're naturally wonderful, and they take over the role, and then they like brush the person to the side that we've come to know and love over decades and just make them seem irrelevant. And I'm worried that that's kind of what they're going to be doing with this, is just kind of, right, hey, somebody else steps up. Oh, I'm a better agent than you. I'm a better, whatever the fuck Indiana Jones would be described as, an explorer or adventurer than you. And yeah, just like, kind of like having to help them keep up with the new person, like how Harrison Ford's getting injured left and right. Like, oh, yeah, I could see that's something in the movie that's addressed of like, oh, we just got to help you keep up. I don't know. I'm worried. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm skeptical.
Movies like that are so tough to reboot. Even what John was saying about Back to the Future, because for me, like movies like that are so much of what they are is because of like that 80s cheesy goodness to them that I think is so hard to replicate in like a modern way. Like Indiana Jones is corny as hell, really. Like it's cool, but it's corny, right? And so much of it is like because of the time, like the goofy sets that they would have, like that everything would be CGI and try to be like super realistic and like over the top, that it's always hard when stuff like that gets brought up. Like it'd be like rebooting the Never-Ending Story or something like that. It'd just be like, yeah, they could do it and they could make it look really cool, but would it have that same charm, the draw to it, And then maybe that's just pure nostalgia, right? Because I saw it as a kid, and I think of movies like Hook. I saw Hook as an adult, and I know so many people love that movie, and I saw it as an adult, and I was like, this is stupid. But like so many people love it because of all of that like 80s cheese, So it's so hard. But I always think like those types of movies are just like almost untouchable in a way, to remake. But that's just the old guy in me, I guess.
No, there are certain things that you should just leave alone. Lisa's asking, what's the worst piece of casting in a movie? Maybe something you'd love the choice of, but actor spoiled it for you. I could say something right now. I mean, it's just the first thing that came to my head, so I don't know if it's actually the worst overall. But, Lisa, the first thing you made me think of was Topher Grace as Venom in Spider-Man 3. Holy shit. Why anybody thought that was a good... As much as I can enjoy Topher Grace as an actor, why anybody thought he was a good idea to be Eddie Brock is beyond me. I can't. I don't know who wants to take it next, but that's my answer.
Yeah. Rick, do you have one? I'm trying to.
Listen, Dan, finish your pizza. I'm just messing with you, man. Where's casting? Ooh, that's tough. That really is tough. Damn, people coming with the questions. I was not prepared for all of these amazing questions.
Right.
That's because there's definitely so many that I can think of that are just like just rough.
It will then what like for me, is there one that like jumps out to you right away out of everybody else? Like even if you don't think it's the worst, but just like, well, this is the first thing that I could think of.
Damn, no. It's so
Mine?
bad. And it's like I know the minute that like we, hang up, say our goodbyes, I'm like, son of a bitch. I have like 10. I have 10. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my god.
Dan, you were throwing in something? What do you got?
Again, I don't know if it's the worst. I don't, and we've talked about it, Jace, but I don't love Brie Larson as Captain Marvel.
Dan.
Um,
Poor Dan.
I know. No, go ahead, Dan, because I'm right there with you, bud.
yeah, I don't know. In Marvel's usually so great with casting. Now, granted, so just my Brie Larson thing is like personal to me because she reminds me of a coworker that we used to be really good friends, and she like looks like her, has the same like opinions as her, like talks like her, and we had a big falling out, and I don't understand why. So that's why I don't really like Brie Larson. So it's nothing, but I still don't think she's the best Captain Marvel, and she just seems so bland in the role. I don't know.
She is very bland in that role. I'm sorry, but I can't deal with people's defenses of it. I can't stand when people are like, whoa, like she was like supposed to play it like that. And it's no, apparently she wasn't, because every other fucking character in that movie keeps telling her, you need to not be so emotional. Where's the emotion at all? Like, as a matter of fact, I would probably say that they would be more right to say, you should be more emotional. Like, stop being so unemotional. I don't really, and that's something we've also discussed. Like, I'm not trying to judge her on anything else.
Yeah.
Right, but like as far as just for that character alone, I don't really care for her.
Like I liked her in The Room. She's capable.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, I really liked The Room. She's not that big, but I love 21 Jump Street. She's in that.
Yes, I like her in that a lot. Which is actually why I was surprised that I didn't like her in Captain Marvel, because that was one of the only things I had seen her in prior to that, and I was excited for it, and then I was really disappointed.
I think I got mine, and this is a potential another hot take, but Ian McKellen as Magneto in X-Men. I know, but it's really hard. It's really, really difficult for me to... So mind you, bear in mind that I grew up with 90s X-Men, right? Just a ripped out of his mind Magneto all the time, rolling around in a magenta suit. And looking at, so this is super powerful, like mutant, blah, blah, blah. And then you look at Ian McKellen, who even at 60 looked like he was about to die. And just be like, there's just nothing forceful about this guy. Like, and especially like if you have any like knowledge of him as a human being, like he's just such a goddamn nice, wonderful person that it's like so hard for me to see this like really tough, I see everything black and white type of character, and look at Gandalf and be seeing Magneto. So I've it's always been one of the things about like the original X-Men trilogy that just has never worked for me. Is Ian McKellen. Great, phenomenal actor. It just doesn't work in that role for me.
Shawn, did you
hear? Shawn, okay, so as far as the worst piece of casting, Rick's choice was Ian McKellen as Magneto in the original X-Men trilogy, which that is definitely a hot take for sure, because you brought it up in a very fair way, Rick. I have to say, the way you said it right was completely like respectful, and honestly, as a fan also of the original X-Men animated series, I can't sit here and be like, that's bullshit. That's a fair point, bro. That really is.
So maybe
I can't say I agree in the sense of like I do still like him a lot, but when you bring it up, it's like, I can't really like speak completely against it though.
No, I think that. Sorry.
That was so good.
If you see Ian McKellen in a movie, it's like a gift, and that's what I feel like.
Except cats.
So,
except cats.
Well, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. But to have Ian McKellen in a movie, you know, like you just want to see it, and he dominates the movie. I think he was the perfect choice as Gandalf. But I also think he's great in X-Men. I think he has a really good chemistry with Patrick Stewart too. So
That he does. Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
definitely does.
Maybe that's got me thinking, like, am I just so amazed by that hot take because I just love Ian McKellen, or is he actually the right choice for Magneto? Or is it just, oh, Ian McKellen's so great, so I'm like just surprised anyone wouldn't like him as Magneto, you know?
well, I mean, they had Michael Fassbender take over as Magneto, and I
And
think that he was great in the role too.
he was good,
Yeah.
yes.
I couldn't picture anyone else doing that role though, or
Yeah.
but I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand.
No, because when you see Magneto, you're like Gandalf, but it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's an angry Gandalf.
Exactly, it's villain Gandalf.
Oh god, I do
Was
love
it-
Ian McKellen though.
I used to think, maybe I'm wrong, but like when the original Dumbledore died, was Ian McKellen ever in talks? Because or maybe I just imagined that. Because I know Gandalf kind of looks like Dumbledore, so he would have been a good choice to play Dumbledore, but I don't think he could have done both. I think it would have been if he did both roles, it would have been too much. Plus, Michael Gambon was really good.
Yeah.
And Richard Harris.
Wait, did you decide what the worst piece of casting was?
I
Dan?
said Brie Larson. No. So no.
Just Brie Larson in any. You can't say that, Dan.
No. Shawn. Let me reiterate
He
that.
knows how I feel about Brie Larson.
No.
She was not right for that role, but she's an incredible actress.
No.
She is.
No, I gotta reiterate that. I couldn't think of the worst because I wouldn't call her the worst piece of casting, even in Captain Marvel. But I couldn't really think of the worst that I actually think. So I just said her. She was my first one that came to mind, kind of, for Captain Marvel. But I liked her. I said I liked her in Room and everything. Room was really good. And 21 Jump Street.
Fair enough. I will take it. I do think that, I still have not watched Captain Marvel. That's like the one Marvel movie I haven't seen.
Watch it.
But I love Brie Larson. I think if you've seen Short Term 12 and Scott Pilgrim,
Shawn, I also said,
United States of Terra, like there's no way that you couldn't love Brie Larson.
But Shawn, I also said, I think I told you this, but it's more personal for me. She reminds me of that coworker that we used to be really good friends.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
she just out of nowhere started being mean, and she like looks like her and talks like her.
Get that out of here. Get that out of here. That's not allowed to be on here. I love Brie Larson. I will stick by
I
it.
couldn't help it for just a second.
I really wanted Yvonne Chahofsky to play Captain Marvel.
Yvonne would be absolutely incredible. Like she should be that character.
She
I'm not gonna lie.
seems pretty fitting. I don't know. It's tough. You know, it's always weird with stuff like that. I wish I could always right away be like, you know what? I think this person should play that character. But yeah, it's weird. Do I think that girl Yvonne? Do I think she'd be the best? I don't know, but
She would
better than Brie Larson for that role, like you said, Shawn. Right? I won't even start to speak on anything else. I haven't really seen her in much else, but yeah, I do think she probably fit Captain Marvel better.
DMG is trying.
I know. I saw it.
Ah!
Uh,
Brian.
Well, hey,
Brian.
I will mention, guys, we do actually have like a stuff that I'm going to kind of maybe to a certain extent fly through,
Yes,
or
we did.
you know, obviously, right. I won't try to skip over much of anybody's stuff because I appreciate all the questions, but we will maybe kind of fast track through a couple things, unless of course we get caught up in stuff. The distract, thank you, man. I know this is something that this is a little bit ago, but nonetheless, still want to acknowledge it. Great stuff, guys. Gonna go catch a showing of Blue Bayou. Have a great week.
Nice. Yeah,
Hey.
John saw that.
Right, it seems like John is head over heels for it. So hope you enjoy it, and hey, let us know what you think as far as in the next shooting the shit for again the season finale, which I'm gonna keep like kind of hinting here and there, and then we'll talk about it more probably a little bit later just to give some idea of what's actually going on with that. Let's see, and in the same vein, someone you thought was all wrong for a part, but you watched it and they proved you wrong. I'll say one right away. I got two actually. Heath Ledger is the Joker.
Mhm.
When it was first announced, I was like, get the fuck out of here. And Ben Affleck as Batman was an even more, for me, get the fuck out of here. And both of those completely, I was like, wow, I am happy to be wrong here.
Yeah.
I know my answer.
Shawn, do you want to go?
Yeah, Emma Stone as Cruella.
I knew it. Yeah.
Because I talked so much shit about her because I don't love her as an actress. Like, I've liked some of her movies, and I don't hate her. But the way that she became Cruella, even though I think the movie is still a little silly, she did such a good job in that movie. So for me, that's definitely Emma Stone and Cruella.
So before I saw the trailers, I thought Emma Stone as Cruella because I was like, she's too young to play Cruella, even though I knew it was an origin film. Because Emma Stone just still looks like she could be playing a high schooler, or yeah. So I was just like, she's too young. She's too young. Then I saw the trailers and I was like, oh no, never mind. She's doing really good. So I guess that's not my choice, but I'll just say that's my choice because I don't really.
What about you, Rick?
I would say Robert Pattinson as Batman. So I haven't seen it yet, right? I haven't seen it. I don't, I can't see the future. But when it was first announced, I was like, I don't know. But then I saw Tenet, and his character in Tenet was just so freaking effortlessly cool. And I was like, yeah, he's going to be a phenomenal Batman. Like, he's going to be able to do, because he was so cool, but there was like, if you've seen Tenet, like, he's hiding something. He has this thing that he's carrying, and there was so much about that character that was very Bruce Wayne-esque to me that I'm like, yeah, I'm 100% on board. So I will be very surprised if I don't really enjoy his take on Bruce Wayne and Batman.
He's gonna kill it, 100%. When I saw Good Time, that was when I was like, wait, Robert Pattinson is actually a really good actor. And then continuously he is proven, and he's so malleable. Like, he can do so many different things. And when I saw that trailer, like, I saw it in the theaters last week and I got chills. Like, I 100% my most anticipated film coming up.
Wow. I gotta say that I have mixed emotions on it still, but I do think that by all means he could end up being very, very well at it, right? Like, the trailer for it got me definitely excited. I'm not going to say much about this subject, but I haven't seen Tenet all the way through. But it did seem like he was definitely a cool character, and I agree. I think there's something about it that and it's not even like completely negative reasons, I guess. It's mixed. That's another subject. But
fair enough.
yeah. Well, if anything, that'll be right. We'll get to that at some point. But with this, what I was gonna say is, now I got so stuck on his point in with him and Tenet, that I didn't see all of that, and then there was gonna be something else that I was gonna say, and now I can't even think about it. But it was something about Robert Pattinson. If I remember it, I'll bring it up. Shit, what the hell was it?
Jace, do you love Twilight?
Oh, actually, okay, no, I remember. It was a very, no, I don't, and I'm never gonna watch Twilight. This is so I can't say if I love it or not.
Jace.
I think. Wait. This is the only point I wanted to bring up with him and the Batman stuff. Is based on the trailer. I also thought that I'm still excited to see him as Bruce Wayne / Batman, but I think it'd be really cool. He seems to look like so on point of what I would expect Nightwing to be.
Yeah, he's got the build. He's got the build for it.
The perfect build for it. And then there's a moment in the trailer where he has the black around his eyes, like the face paint or something like that, and his hair's all messed up, and it's like, bro, you look so like Nightwing right now, it's not even funny. But it is what it is. Dan, what were you gonna say?
No, it was a joke. I was gonna say, no, come over, we'll watch all the Twilight Saga together.
Sorry, Dan. You're gonna have to think of something way better to convince me.
Okay.
Yes.
Airspeed Reviewers, the ARC review. Green Hornet needs a reboot. First of all, thank you for being here and for the comment. And yeah, this seems like, as little as I know about it, that it would be cool to see a reboot on that.
It would, yeah.
I love the idea of the director of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind directing the Green Hornet, but it was not good.
I didn't know that
And
was,
Seth Rogen, like, I don't know, like, yeah, that definitely deserves a reboot.
I didn't know that was the same director.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to flip it. They're both right next to each other, but nonetheless, we'll acknowledge this real quick. D, hey, Jace, thanks. Believe it or not, I come up with these questions on the spot. There are a few times I'll randomly think of one and write it down for later, but mainly spur of the moment. Then, holy cripes, man, like, good for you for just being, like, so on the money with it, like, all the time. Because seriously, it's not just to say, like, I know it's almost become like a running gag to a certain extent, but it's not a joke. Like, you know, again, everybody has really done a good job of coming up with good questions. Any question is really nice to have to be able to talk about, but there's just something about yours that seem to sometimes be very thought-provoking. And yeah, and that's always really appreciated, man. So again, props to you for thinking of them on the spot, and thank you for always throwing them in. And what was mentioned right after that? Drew, hey, what's up? What's going on, Drew? Thank you for being here, man. Much appreciated. Good news, just saw the first 4 Die Hard movies recently. That is
good news for the first one.
I was going to say, okay, thank you. Thanks. Hey, come on, for the first one at least, my gosh. Actually, yeah, and then there's Eric throwing in. I love Die Hard. It was almost my pick for Reboot, but decided India's character could endure. No, yeah, actually, I agree. So, okay, Eric, your choice was right to go with Indy because that's actually something that I feel like, in a way, could deserve to be, with all due respect, of course, the original remade and continued on in a new way. But Die Hard is just like, I don't want to see someone else do what Bruce Willis did. Like, that was good enough as it was. Like, it is what it is. You guys agree?
Yeah, I think that it should just stay.
Do you guys want to know
Bruce Willis?
Do you guys want to know my hot take on Die Hard?
Go for it.
I like Die Hard 3 more than Die Hard 1. Like, I had a much more fun time.
Holy shit!
A much
Die
more
Hard with a
time.
Vengeance. Is that what
That's
it's called?
yeah, that's with Samuel L. Jackson. Like a way more fun time. Although I do like Die Hard a lot, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Live Free or Die Hard? Is that
No, the one with Samuel L. Jackson, Die Hard with a Vengeance, I think.
Okay, so that's the second one.
That's with all the city. No, I do not like the second. Well, the second one's okay. The second one's at the airport. The third one, they're running around the city and trying to save the school from being blown up. They have to figure out what. It's Han's like son or Han's like nephew or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Brian's definitely getting a kick out of.
James
Well,
and the White Lotus.
Okay, you know what's really funny is it's become such a thing at this point that I feel like it's just assumed that I fucking despise this show, and I really don't. I don't obviously care for it that much, but it's just because of my disappointment. It's because I wanted it to be so much more than it was, or if it could just fucking decide what it wanted to be. Because I feel like it could have been so many different things, and it just never made up its mind. And now I guess I'll never say. I won't say anything about that.
He's trying to start drama right now. That's what.
Never, Shawn, never, not at all. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just quickly shift over to a fantastic question by D. Looking back, what are some ways in which you've improved from your early videos to now? Bring on the positive self-assessment and affirmations, please. This is Rick. What do you think? You know, because I can't say that I've actually seen like I've obviously seen your videos for quite some time now, but definitely not like the first ones. How do you think that you would speak to this?
I'll say this is my last contribution today because I gotta take off after this one. But I think just getting comfortable with it. So like if you had watched my first few videos, like everything's very stifled. You know, it's just like. I don't know where to look. I wasn't in the habit of like really scripting or outlining anything. Like the channel started on such a whim of like, all right, oddly enough, my first video is on the Flashpoint comic book. So I had just read it, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, whatever, and talk about that. So I just kind of like just off the cuff talking about it. So it's very slow. There's not a lot of like energy to the video. And really just like, I just watched them, you know, and I would watch them back and be like, okay, would I find this entertaining? And unfortunately, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have found the early ones that entertaining. So how can I make this more entertaining, or what do I enjoy from other people's videos that I can, you know, what are tricks that they're doing that I could probably utilize in my own, while still trying to make it my own, that kind of thing, and just really just, you know. But you have to make those videos, right? Like you have to start somewhere, right? And I think for me personally in my own journey with this, like there were so many years, like YouTube's been around for a long time, where I was like, oh, that seems so cool. Like I remember like watching Shawn Chandler's videos like in the lead up to Infinity War and be like, this son of a bitch, this looks so fun. I want to talk about stuff like this, but I was like afraid to do it. Like I was like, I can't imagine sitting in a room and talking to my phone and like I'm gonna feel like an idiot, and I really love it now, so I had to like make those first, you know, 30-40 videos, however many are like pretty terrible, and hopefully they're getting better, to start feeling a little more confident, and hopefully, you know, a year in, hopefully, you know, next year I'll have improved even more and I'll feel even better about it. But yeah, you gotta kind of take those lumps and just kind of look at it and try to be as objective once you look at it, and I think that's what makes it easier moving forward.
Nice, man, very nice. Well, I that's first of all very, very solid answer. And would you at least I'll throw it to you because I obviously don't want to kind of hold you longer than necessary. Did you want to? I mean, by all means, we could either kind of finish answering this question off and then have you exit. Did you want to kind of you know, take off if you have to take off now, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take off from here, but guys, thank you so much. This is such a pleasure. I've loved talking to you guys, and keep me in mind if ever in the future you want to add a guest or whatnot. I'm always happy to talk to you guys.
Yeah, no, actually, man, I was gonna go ahead and just real quick, if you'd like, very, you know, briefly as least before you happen to take off, if you just want to shout yourself out, maybe anything that's like coming up on your channel or whatever you want to go ahead and say about yourself, but I'd be more than happy to have you shout yourself out.
Yeah, absolutely. So my channel's on pop culture, and right now I'm in the middle of reviewing the Marvel What If series. I've been pretty busy, so that's really the only thing I'm doing at the moment. But if you're into that show and you want to hear my thoughts on it and potential hot takes on the show, definitely check out the channel and consider subscribing.
Awesome. Oh, man, well, Rick, seriously, thank you so much for being here, bro. You know, I know it was well, I don't want to say it was too last minute, right? It was as early as I could have made it, but I know I just kind of threw it out at you and just as a random, like, hey, you know, you available? You want to do this? So thank you for being a part of this. We always love having a special guest, no matter who it can be. But, you know, obviously we had you in mind for a bit and was glad that we could add you to the roster for our very first season of doing this. So again, just thank you, man. And obviously have a great rest of the evening.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rick.
Guys.
Thank you, Rick.
Great to talk to you
Have a good
guys.
night.
Dan, make sure you watch Return of the King, please.
I will.
Yes.
I will.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
See ya, man. And then there were 3. Well, let's see. Make sure you guys go check out Rick Alba on Pop Culture. He really does. You know, something that I will mention because there's certain times like I could mention certain things about certain people and the way they go about stuff. And Rick has a very polished, like, I like how it's just he doesn't seem like he puts the effort that sometimes, how do I put it? He puts so much like more into it with little effort, it seems. That's, if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to say it in the best way, where it's like, it seems like shit, people would try really hard to do what he's doing, and he seems to kind of effortlessly just come off like this naturally good host, if you will, like for certain stuff. Like I've always noticed that whenever I watch some of his videos. So
and his Funko Pop reviews are kind of new-ish. Like not a lot of people are doing that, so it's kind of cool to show off, you know, his Funko Pop collection.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Yeah, but his reviews are really good as well. I agree, Jace. Yeah.
Let's see. I was going to go back to just real quick. Oh, yes, actually, no. And that was something I took up right away. Thank you. As much as we love the comments, as much.
Jace, I did not expect you to put that up. I did not expect you to put that up for maybe another hour.
That wasn't me, actually, that even put it up. If that says anything.
Okay.
I was curious, at least for this one, though, because, again, I felt like it was a good enough question to maybe speak on. I mean, did you guys have anything that because I definitely think this is something I'd like to say something about, but what do you guys have to say?
I'm so happy that I added and you guys will agree, added my humor to it and my awkwardness to my videos, my funny awkwardness. And like if I make a mistake, sometimes I'll leave that in, and just my humor in general, like Dan Wick and everything. So I'm glad that I've added all that and actually, kind of embraced all that. So that's my big improvement, I think. And then meeting you guys, I've learned so much from all of you guys, and even all the bigger YouTubers too. Like Shawn Chandler, I always gotta shout him out because he's the one that introduced Shawn and I never would have met everyone else. So yeah, that's my answer.
What do you think, Shawn?
I mean, for me, if you look at my first video to where I've come now, you'll definitely see how much I've improved. And it just takes a lot of positivity and pushing yourself. Sometimes it's not going to be the most fun thing in the world, but you just have to push through it. So to me, that's my advice.
I would definitely say, as far as just to mention about improved, kind of like something I'm really happy about that I could say about the way things are now. Uh-oh. We lose Dan? Temporarily, hopefully. Is something that I'm really happy to bring up is, like, I definitely feel like when I started, oh yes, Dan will be back in a few. When I first started, I didn't think anything was wrong with what I was doing. I actually, dare I say, I felt pretty confident because I had kind of been thinking about doing it for a while, and I went to school for TV and radio broadcasting. It was one of the greatest experiences that I ever got a chance to be a part of with that stuff, and that really kind of awoke my passion even more. Like, I had a passion to go there in the first place, but that really kind of like inspired some stuff, and I knew from that point that I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta start it up. I gotta try to get into this. And for the longest time, I was battling myself back and forth and back and forth. So long story short, finally ended up starting doing it on a whim. And then once I realized, you know what, if I'm going to like actually get this going and I'm going to take it seriously, I really want to like come into my own. And that's the part that I can wrap this around to that I'm very, very happy about, is I feel like at this point as of now, and I'm sure it'll still continue to evolve, of course, but I just really feel like I've come into my own. I've found my kind of angle, if you will, like my angle, my approach, that I'm happy to say when it sounds kind of weird to say, but when I watch my own stuff back versus when I happen to check out a lot of others, and that's, I guess, all I'll say, I feel like there's just something different, and that's all I guess that I'm aiming for. But because it's me, I'm not trying to it's not like, oh, okay, can I just be different? That's really the way I would like to go about things. It just so happens to be not the norm, if you will. It's unique. And so I'm like really, I very much am proud of my format that I've come to make.
I'm proud of it too. I mean, I see you coming into your own every day.
Oh, I definitely did. Especially, I'm not gonna lie, thoughts from you, Shawn, that like really means a lot, because I still remember like from getting started early on, and especially when I first started to feel this way, and then when I got a chance to get familiar with yourself, John, Dan, like I slowly got connected to all of you guys, or became familiar with all of you. And yeah, just seeing like right away, you just being like on point, you got your thing, like you just have such a good image that is so down pat. And I respected the hell out of that. And so to hear you admire like how I was going about things, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Come on. But it means a lot, man. It really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. We got a lot of stuff that, by all means, guys, definitely not trying to just well, how do I put it? Not trying to fly through things. More so want to go ahead, and if there's any good questions, we'll get to that. I see there's a lot of fantastic banter back and forth, and really appreciate that. So don't stop that, right? Keep that going. You guys keep that fantastic conversation. But at least bear with me as I'll kind of filter through as far as to find the next best thing for us to maybe go ahead and speak upon. That's like a question type of thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's great because you could tell kind of in a way how far back we are. Because let's see. Just because it was the first question that I happened to come across, name a cringeworthy or embarrassing death scene in a film. Oh gosh.
I have a good one.
Okay, what do you got? Because I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue for mine.
So it's cringeworthy and embarrassing because of who it is, but it also makes the movie even better. It's House of Wax, Paris Hilton getting fucking like just with a giant like yes. So that scene to me, like I will never forget it. So is it cringeworthy? Yes. Is it embarrassing? Yes, but it's also great because of those reasons.
Well, I'm just honestly gonna go with that only because I you know, it's fun. I feel like almost like I picture somebody when I think of this question, and I can't think of who they are. So if I think of it, I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
You know, because if there's a cheese death, but yeah, at the moment, I guess I'll stick to what you mentioned. That was a good answer there, Shawn. And also, I just wanted to double check with you because I came across this real quick. You guys are killing me with the Dark Knight is overrated stuff. Is Shawn the only one who doesn't think it's overrated?
I think that, yeah. I mean, I think it's rated perfectly. It's where it needs to be. But I do get your points, Jace. I really do. Because, I mean, when you think of The Dark Knight, you don't think of Christian Bale. You don't think of anyone else besides Heath Ledger. So I get what you're saying. But that performance alone, to me, makes it one of the best films of all time.
No, and it's one of those, like, you know, when sometimes you say something and you're like, shit, I didn't mean for it to sound as though it was like, you know, I don't want to be taken the wrong way. Because, yeah, there is still so much good about that movie, right? Like, I know I mentioned about you could take his parts out and that would be the best parts to watch or something. And I kind of still stand by that. I think his is they're the most iconic parts of the movie. But no, it's not like nothing else is worth watching. Obviously, if the movie was on, I'd let the whole thing play. I sure as shit wouldn't fast forward through people's stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan returns.
Hey.
Well, Dan, just in time. Maybe you got an answer for our next question here. Name a film with memorable, stunning set design. Unless what's up, bud? You got something else?
I overheard some stuff. I wanted to answer something about an actress death or an actor death or character death. Well, a character death.
Yeah.
What was it again?
It was name a character death that was like really horribly acted. There we go. Cringeworthy or embarrassing death scene in a film.
Okay, so I don't remember if she dies, but Ruby Rose in The Meg. I can't remember if she died at that scene, but she's just not a great actress in general.
Ooh.
Right, it's Ruby Rose. She was in Orange Is the New Black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. At least in
she was
The Meg.
Batwoman.
Oh yes. I didn't watch it, but
Neither.
I don't know enough about her to say. I guess
I don't think anyone did.
I saw her in the crossovers for like the CW DC crossover events. There was when they first introduced her, she was in there, and I just remember instantly just being like, "That's a pass for me," which is tough. It's weird. Like I'm down for anything along those lines. So to say that I was just like, "Nah, I'm good," was just a weird feeling.
Yeah. Okay, you could skip. Name a film with a
I have to
memorable
go to the bathroom real quick.
design.
For sure.
My choice.
Damn it. Because Shawn, I was hoping you'd have an answer for this one because I'm gonna have such a shitty answer in comparison to that.
So am I. I mean, I don't want people going to this movie. Just because I saw it last night. The Eyes of Tammy Faye, I don't know why, but there's like this party scene and the colors just pop. The food is like put on the table like so perfectly. And not saying that's my answer, but just because it's the freshest in my mind right now. But there's got to be other stuff. But I agree with you, Gase. It's hard to think of some of these answers on the spot, and then later I'll think of them. Because there's way better choices than the Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. Like, the stuff that's coming to my head is, like, so not what would be considered, like, I guess, good answers.
Like, I have not seen Memoirs of a Geisha yet, and I know that's a big one. It's on my list, I believe.
Like,
I don't know.
I'm not even gonna say it. I don't know. I feel so bad, D. I'm sorry. I don't ever mean when you come up with good questions, man. I definitely don't mean to disappoint you. That's for sure.
Yeah, D. I'm thinking of stuff, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it, and I can't. Like, I'm trying to think of like how he said built from the ground up. I'm trying to think of sets that were, rebuilt to perfect. Oh, I know a lot of people didn't love this movie, and this probably isn't my answer either. But Ready Player One did a good job redoing this Shining, the hotel, the Overlook Hotel. But I don't know. I'm trying to think. Wait, Jace, did you not like Ready Player One? I actually liked it.
No, I didn't. Shit, I'd honestly have to watch it again because it was one of those like you. Here's my only issue. I do like when there's a lot of that type of stuff going on. There's a lot of like fan. What do they call it? Where it's just like fan service type of stuff.
Yeah.
Where and so that wasn't terrible. I thought the crossover type of stuff was cool, but
it fits with I think in the book they do that too. So.
No, of course they do. That's the one thing. That's why I never rip on it for that. The only downside to it is, unfortunately, you kind of get so wrapped up and caught up in that part of it that you almost get detracted away from what the actual story is. Because then all of a sudden it's like something happens and then you're just like, oh shit, was that Batman? And then, I don't know.
Like Space Jam 2.
Oh, God. But yeah, see, at least, again, that's where I go to. At least Ready Player One has a reason for doing all that shit. Space Jam 2 was just absolutely like, that was such a cash grab.
Yeah.
That's all that it was. It was nothing more than, I feel like to me, that was, and I could be wrong, maybe they were looking at it with a different approach, but to me, that was like, we are not confident enough that people will want to see a Space Jam sequel nowadays. So we're going to go ahead and jam pack it and cram it with a bunch of fucking every single Warner Brothers property that we can. So this way, just come see this. Because now it's just like, oh, wow, can you believe? Look, the Animaniacs popped up here. The Gremlins were there. Did you see Pennywise? Wow, the mask is in the background. Come on. They even got fucking Rick and Morty to pop up in there.
Free Guy, I think, did it well of using properties from their own. I don't want to spoil it, but you know what I mean. Like they used that quickly, and it was.
No,
really
I will say this. Ready? Spoiler alert. If you even consider this a spoiler. Bro, I feel like Free Guy gave me a better lightsaber battle than like the entire sequel trilogy of Star Wars.
Oh wow.
I mean,
it was great.
It was like. And I say that lightly because, I do not care as much for the sequel trilogy, but it's not I can enjoy it for its moments, but But at the same time, yeah, it was so unexpected. And when that part came up, I was just like, oh, this is amazing. And the other part besides that I guess I won't say that. I'll only say the lightsaber part.
Yeah.
Which is that really a fucking spoiler, for Christ's sakes?
No. So the only reason I consider it a spoiler is I don't want people to know about it before they go in, and then that's gonna hinder.
True.
Like they're gonna be like, oh, they're expecting it. So I just don't want it to hinder that. I want them to get that big applause moment that my crowd at least had.
No, it's true, because that's how it was for me. And I agree 100%. So that's why hopefully my annoying alarm before I said that helped to deter anybody away for just a moment.
Shawn, has to. Shawn, do you have to leave now?
Yes.
You said you had to leave. Okay.
Oh, okay. Wait, shoot. Yeah, no, I actually just saw that. Hey, Shawn. before
I
you
know,
head out?
it's my,
Obviously,
si-
don't
it's
want to
my
rush you.
sister's wedding tomorrow morning.
Oh,
I need to be there.
do you, as an exit, and if not, I understand. As an exit, do you happen to have a final answer to a final question for you?
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
Would name a bizarre, eccentric, or experimental film that you enjoyed and why.
Ooh, there's so many.
Which I can start off if you need a moment to think about it. I actually, the moment I saw this, I don't know why, I thought of something. There's actually two that I could think of, but the first, I'll stick with the first one I thought of. It's not exactly the greatest, but there's a horror movie that's called VHS that it inspired like its own mini franchise or whatever, and I don't know why, because it's experimental. At least I feel like that's how it comes off as. It is definitely bizarre, and self-indulgent, if you will, to a certain extent. But it got me. I wasn't expecting it. There was something about it that like it felt like an actual like creepy, with the handheld footage, but not everything was there was something about it. It's really hard to explain actually, but you would definitely, if you're at least even semi-curious and you have a little bit of time to spare, VHS. It's a really just bizarre and weird horror movie that revolves around finding different VHS tapes that it's basically like there's these explicitly ridiculous horror moments that are captured on these different VHS tapes. But obviously there's much more to it than that. That's just kind of where it begins.
It's on my list, yeah. Shawn,
mine would definitely be Donnie Darko. That was a film that changed my life, even though I hated it the first time because I didn't understand it. It's very eccentric, but that movie, every time you watch it, you get something more from it. So for that question, that's definitely mine.
Yeah. The first one that came to mind is a recent one, Malignant. I thought that was so bizarre and weird, but I love it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of others, but yeah, I think I would choose Malignant.
That's fair. Well, then at least as we get to that point, we'll go ahead and throw up. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. How did I get back up?
Please,
you're killing me, Smalls.
We forgot to do a freeze frame with Rick. So.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that.
Can we get him back? I wonder if he's. Maybe we should all wear the same clothes another day and get him back on, and then pretend that we did it tonight.
We could shit. Do we do one right now? Like,
I just think it would be. I just thought it would be really cool with the guest, but yeah.
It should have been done with the guest. You're right, Dan. You're absolutely right. Fuck. Yeah. All right. Well, that's on me as far as not getting to that.
Oh no, Jason. No, you're okay. You're okay.
You're fine.
I'll take partial blame at least. But anyway, with that being said, okay, Shawn, as we exit, 80s freeze frame. What did you do, Dan?
Sorry, I did this. But
all right, let's see. Okay, ready? Right. Awesome. We got it. We got it. All right, everybody, make sure that you go check out Lost on the Reel if you haven't already. This guy's absolutely fantastic and is covering things that you didn't even know existed and know that you needed to see. And that's why you need to go check him out so you can realize all the things that you need to see and what things to stay away from, if possible.
Watch the other two on HBO Max.
Yes, the other two. Please, people, watch this show. Why is no one watching it?
Well, I will let you, Shawn, if it's you want to say that, if it's what you about yourself, whatever you want to say, man. But I do at least I'll give you temporarily right. Say what you want to say before you take off, my man.
He says what I tell him. No, I'm kidding.
So my name is Shawn, and I am Lost in the Reel. Check out my Instagram and Facebook, and also definitely my YouTube channel where all my videos are at, where I cover hidden gems. Like Jay said, I cover things that maybe you haven't heard about before, but you definitely should check out. And also things that I thought were going to be great, and then they ended up terrible. So definitely check out Lost in the Real. Thank you guys so much.
Aw, Shawn, we love you.
All right. I couldn't help but notice. I saw a comment. It's not one of the most recent ones, but I saw a comment come in from Eric, and he's like, "Why is everyone leaving so early?"
I know. It's not that early. It's 3 hours.
Hey,
But I know it's from earlier.
it's
Jace, I'm down to finish the questions off with you. Just so you know.
thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Anyways,
All right, well,
I love you guys so much. I
bye,
will see
bye,
you
Shawn.
next week for season finale.
Season
Yes.
finale.
Oh my gosh, wait. I'm just asking this out of curiosity. Oh, I feel stupid asking this. We haven't even mentioned it. Is it on Joe's channel?
No, Joe can't be there.
Joe can't be there.
Oh shit.
We're talking about a couple things. So
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
figure it out,
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
and we'll
All
let
right.
everyone know.
We will let everybody know.
yes.
All righty. Adios,
Love you
Sean.
guys.
Have a good rest of the night. And
Bye,
have a good
Have
time
a
at the
great-
wedding, man.
Have a great
Thank you so
weekend.
much. I'm excited.
Bye, bro.